everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. How are we all doing? I hope we're all doing well. I'm well, you're well. Come on, United. Team news coming in. Team news coming in, and we're live. And the team news is just making sure we're live. Team news is on the screen for you now. No Matic. I looked through the team to see if I can see Matic. Andreas Pereira's starting. That won't please a lot of people. De Gea, Twansibi, Lindelof, Maguire and Young, McTominay, Pogba, Pereira, Lingard, James and Rashford. Greenwood on the bench, Matic on the... I mean, where the fuck is Fred? I'm sorry, I don't want to start with a swear word, but where the hell is bloody Fred again? I mean, it's a joke. How the hell is he not picking Fred again? I mean, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's just crazy. I don't get it. I don't know. I actually, at this juncture, I do not actually know what Fred's supposed to do. I mean, it's not a myth. It's not a myth here. This is a reality that, like, he actually has been playing really, really well, and he should be starting for Manchester United. He came on against Leicester for half an hour and did brilliantly well. He played against Astana and Rochdale and played really, really well. His stats, he has the most passes, the most in touches, the most interceptions. There is just no reason not to pick him, and we've not picked him. And the bench looks dead, doesn't it? I mean, the bench is basically Mason Greenwood as well, because you've got Juan Mata, Fred, Matic, Brandon Williams and Marcus Rojo. So it's a really weird bench as well. I just want to have a very quick look at the Arsenal team, and then I'm going to update the team for you. I mean, look, Twansibi playing is quite a positive. I've got to be honest with you there. Arsenal's team is Leno, Chambers, Socrates, David Luiz, Kolasinac, Guendouzi, Xhaka, Torreira, Pepe, Aubameyang and Xhaka, which this Xhaka kid is meant to be, you know, Arsenal play the youth. It's just brilliant, isn't it? So Arsenal come to Old Trafford and pick the youth, and we bloody don't. Martinez, Maitland-Niles, Holding, Ceballos, Willock, Nelson and Martinelli on the bench. But the interesting thing about that is that I'm actually quite pleased that they're not playing Ceballos, because I think he's a very, very good player. Really, really do. But Rashford over Greenwood is wrong as well. Well, we're meant to be about the youth. And Arsenal come away and play Saka. Who is about youth, not us. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But they're just my initial observations. I've got to get the actual team news out. I'm happy with Twansibi. Rohan Girl says, Mark, push Rants out the United Stand. He is awful. Well, a lot of people like Rants, so you can see him on the old fan cams a little bit later. Let's just. I just want to show you this as well. This is the league table today. So Manchester United are not even on that page. We are 11th on 8 points, but that is the league table as it looks today. Manchester United. I'm purposely not going to show you page 2. Smith Jones says, sorry, but I'm done with United after this Ollie out. So yeah, it is rather interesting with the way Manchester United are looking in that league table, isn't it? I think a lot of people try to ignore it and try to pretend it's not the case when it is. But the point remains that Manchester United are not even in the top half of the table at the moment. And Arsenal, if Arsenal were to get a win tonight, they would go up to 4th place outright and be 6 points clear of Manchester United. So it's an interesting one. I mean, the other thing about, let me just come back. Let me get myself back on screen because I'm just changing this. I'm just changing the. Sorry, that should not be on. I'm just changing the team news for you on the screen now. But as we can see, this is not the team on the right hand side. Pereira is playing. It is Lingard, Rashford, and James. But I don't know. I'm going to actually change it around a bit because I don't actually think it will be as we've got it on the screen. To be honest with you, I think it will be a little bit different. I think what we're going to see is Pereira playing out on the right hand side again. And Lingard playing in the more defensive position, well, the more central position, should I say, not defensive position. I think he will have license to roam into there, and Jesse Lingard, I think, will play in the number 10 position for. I mean, to be honest with you, there is a big part of me that thinks, like, I know it's all about protection, and it's all about, you know, he was always going to play Rashford today. Let's be honest, he was always going to play Rashford today, but. And I don't get that. I really don't. But I also, part of me is like, why does Jesse Lingard play when he's been so bad for so long? Why is Marcus Rashford playing when he clearly isn't fully fit? When you've got somebody who could play today in that position, it's just odd. I think his team selections at this point are just really, really weird, and they don't actually resonate in reality. For me, personally, I know a lot of you will be happy with it, but for me, it just doesn't resonate into reality anymore, what he's doing. It doesn't make any sense. So that's the correct team lineup for you on the right-hand side now. James, Rashford, Pereira, front three, Lingard, Pogba, McTominay, Ashley Young at left-back with Twansebi on the right-back position, Lindelof and Maguire. Sorry, I'm done with United, but after this, Ollie out, says Smith J. I mean, look, that team's not as bad as it could be. Thanks for the contribution, Zane. I was hoping you weren't going to turn up tonight, being an Arsenal fan. At least Matic and Mata are not playing, says Revan. Exactly. I think that's a valid point. And thanks, Zane, for the contributions you've made. Lingy is playing. Will he provide second assist for 2009? Stay tuned. I just think, if I can honestly give you my opinion on this, if I was picking the team tonight, I was absolutely adamant that Fred had to play. And I just get fed up with seeing Paul Pogba playing deep. Like, Paul Pogba could be playing in the Lingard position with Fred next to McTominay. That should have been the midfield three. I'm stunned that both Lingard and Pereira are starting. I would have played Lingard on the right of a front three. Pereira would not have been anywhere near this team. I like Pereira, but I don't understand at this point why he ever gets picked for Manchester United. He's done nothing. He got an assist against Chelsea, but was actually quite crap on the opening day, and has been pretty crap ever since, but keeps getting picked. He shouldn't be playing tonight. I think, you know, Lingard might turn up because he's got a good record against Arsenal, but I've got no confidence that Pereira's anywhere near putting a good performance in. So my midfield three would have been Pogba in a more advanced position with Fred and McTominay. And I actually think, low-key, Fred's been our best midfielder this season. Like, I know he's done it against Astana and Rochdale, but when he's come on against West Ham, and certainly when he came on against Leicester, he's been really impactful, and yet he's on the bench. It's just weird. And I tell you what, Scott McTominay's begging the club not to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I tell you what, I bet he's bloody begging him, because I don't like this vision that Ollie is showing us. I really don't. How is Fred not playing tonight? I'm stunned by that. It's really, really weird. I'm not too bothered about the back four. I would have been really bothered if he'd played Rojo and Young. So getting Twansebi into the team, I think, is a clever move. Rashford over Greenwood. Wow, Ollie get a grip, says Ali K. I mean, I think that's the second thing that needs to be addressed, really. You know, as far as I'm concerned, Rashford was going to be out for the game today. He got a bad injury. So you play the... I mean, look, let's address the elephant in the room as well. Wan-Bissaka's not playing because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played him against fucking Rochdale. Like, there was no need to play him against Rochdale. Apart from, I need to beat Rochdale, I'm desperate not to lose to Rochdale. So we knew Wan-Bissaka was carrying a back injury, you know, and we play him against Rochdale, and now he misses the Arsenal game. And, you know, Pogba nearly missed this game because we played him against Rochdale. Rashford got injured last week because he's playing every minute of every game. Rashford wasn't meant to be playing today, and Rashford somehow is playing, and that means, you know, he's definitely not fit. So I just despair. I expect Manchester United to win tonight. I'm going to say that. I expect Manchester United to win tonight, and I hope they do win tonight, because if they don't, yet again, I think the team selection, the two for me is, why is Rashford playing? He is not a player you rush back from injury. I'm sorry, he's been absolutely crap lately, and I hope he lights it up tonight. I really do, and I hope Lingard does as well. But realistically, they wouldn't even be in a normal squad if we'd bought well in the summer. Pereira shouldn't be playing. He's not been anywhere near good enough. And Fred should be playing. If we lose with this lineup, I'm Ollie out. Not good, says Debanshir Kumar. But, you know, the thing is, we're talking about a vision, aren't we? We're always talking about the vision and the long-term future of Manchester United. But I look at that team and I say, well, what's your vision then? I don't think Andreas Pereira is going to be good enough. I'm not convinced Scott McTominay is going to be good enough, and I know that upsets a lot of you lot. Pogba's not going to be here in a year. I don't think Lingard's ever going to be good enough. I don't know what Rashford's going to be. So what is the long-term vision? I think the players that you should be picking aren't even in the team, but we'll see. But what I will say is, and I just want to go back to this for a moment, what I will say is, if we go... the league table, which is this. What can't speak can't lie, and the reality is Manchester United are not on that page. And people who say, well, we're not on that page because we've only played 6 games, there's a team in 8th place there called Arsenal. They've played 6 games and they're still in 8th place. And if they win tonight, they would go up to joint 3rd with Leicester City. It is what it is. That league table is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely spot on. Manchester United have got 8 points, and that's why we're not even in the top half of the table. And if we were to lose tonight by more than 2 goals, we'll be in 12th place. It's embarrassing to look at that, and people need to look at that, because it took me a bit of time to bloody edit that this afternoon, and I was like, no, I'm going to bloody show it quite a lot, because that's the reality. You cannot see Manchester United on the top half of the Premier League table, and we don't bloody deserve to be in there either. Mark, we should win the night 3 hours later. Takashi 6x9 and Pradney Wadke says, somebody please teach Ollie some resource management. Rashi should be at home. Fred would allow Pogba to be advanced. Greenwood was a must. Subs at 70 minutes again. Sad. Look, our big saving grace tonight is that we are playing Arsenal, and Arsenal have traditionally bottled it. So hopefully they're going to bottle it tonight is what I would say. But Saka starting for Arsenal, says Yunusu M, is very, very embarrassing because he's a young player. I don't even know much about him. He's starting for Arsenal. We're not picking Greenwood. Bloody embarrassing. I think it's embarrassing, but some people would say, we've gone with what we've got. I can see Gary Neville on my screen. I'm sure he's speaking positively about his mate again. I'm getting a bit bored of it, but ultimately we need to win tonight, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that starting lineup, but I'm not going to start ranting too much about it, because I have always said for weeks and weeks on this channel, I've always said that I expect Manchester United to win this game of football today. And I expect us to win this game of football today because it's Arsenal, because I tell you what, that football team we've put out there is one of the best paid teams in the world. Not in the Premier League, in the world. Even that team that's picked there is one of the best paid 11s in the world. They're wearing a Manchester United shirt at Old Trafford against Arsenal. And I'll tell you what, as bad as we are, if they can't turn it on for 90 minutes and get a result, I'll be disgusted. But Drawty's laughing in the background. How you doing, pal?
All right, mate. You? Not all right about that lineup. Well, some of it is okay, but some of it I'm a bit perplexed by. So. Well,
Jordan Such says, I don't care about the team. Pogba, James, Rashford plays against Palace and lost. Whoever plays, I don't trust them, which is the saddest thing. And Upbeat Sarcastic says, barring some James magic, can't see where we're finding goals from here. I hate to say it, but Ollie's out of his depth. No top 6 side would hire him. Well, no, they wouldn't anyway, would they? Why would any top 6 side recruit an ex-United player who was managing Mould? It was very unique to United that we took him, and that doesn't mean it's wrong. I think Dan James is the key. I tweeted it earlier. I think Dan James is the key. And I think the way we start the game, Drawty, is key. Are we going to park the bus like we did against Leicester and try and get them on the break? Or are we going to attack? What is your thoughts?
If we were going to park the bus, we would have played a back 5. So I don't think we're going to completely park the bus. And also, there's only McTominay there as an out-and-out CDM. So Pogba and Lingard, to be fair, it's a little bit more of an attacking midfield from Ollie. I don't think the midfield's that bad. It's not like we're playing McTominay and Matic. So McTominay, Pogba and Lingard. Yes, I probably would have swapped Lingard for Fred, but I think that's about as good as the midfield's going to get at the moment. Pereira, I mean, you must have something on Ollie because he keeps getting picked all the time. I wouldn't have chosen him. Actually, I would have put Lingard where Pereira is, and then Fred instead of Lingard.
That's the big one. I think we'd all say amen to that. That's the one. I don't understand what Fred's done. I don't. I think he's not been brilliant, but he's been good and better than everybody else, and still can't get a start in a game like this. It's especially when, like you say, when Pereira starts, who I think's been very, very poor this season. For him to start in a game like this over someone like Fred, I just think it's all kinds of wrong. But there you go.
I feel bad for Greenwood though. What's he had to do? So he scored in the last 2 games he's played, got us a win, and he can't get into the starting lineup. So but then again, I guess if Rashford is your senior striker, it makes sense to put him in. Maybe if Rashford gets a goal today, it'll give him some confidence, especially against Arsenal. So
he's got to score at some point, hasn't he?
Yes, so you have to try him. So whether people like it or not, Rashford has to get on the score sheet at some point. But you're just touching on Pereira there. Maybe Greenwood should have been instead of Pereira. I don't really have a problem with Lingard being on the pitch. Yeah. So, well,
I think actually did put. In fairness, I think I actually did put Lingard in my predicted team. I just think that I don't think anybody put Pereira in there. But just to talk about Rashford for a moment, I mean, I was just saying there before you came on. I mean, look, Arsenal have got a lad called Saka playing, who I don't really know anything about, apart from he's a young lad, and they're playing him away at Old Trafford. You know what? It's starting to get a little bit embarrassing now. You know, we're meant to be about youth, and to be honest, it's not the United stand plugging the youth. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who keeps talking about it, and we already know that. You know, Chelsea have embarrassed us, but this is a little bit embarrassing that Arsenal turn up with this Saka guy starting, and Greenwood, who scored 2 goals in 2 games and saved us in 2 games, and is the fittest striker we've got, isn't even on the pitch.
Yeah, but I think sometimes in a big game like this, and it is a big game because United have to win this one. If United lose, they're in the bottom half of the table outright. Win it, you're back into the top half. You've beaten Arsenal, Banter FC, all that kind of stuff. So for me, this is a must-win game, and I think Ollie's putting his cards out there and saying, look, Rashford, you need to get the goals today. You need to start firing, because at the end of the day, if he is United's number 1 striker, he has to be performing. You can't rely on a 17-year-old. It's too much pressure for Greenwood. Yes, he might be the next big thing, but at the end of the day, he's not there yet. And if he has a bad game, or if United come off after a bad result, that will be like, well, Greenwood's not doing it either. So, to be honest with you, I sort of agree with protecting Greenwood. I don't, Rashford has to perform. If he doesn't, then there's a case to say, okay, you've not done it in the big games, let's play Greenwood instead. But
on the other hand, though,
yeah, go on. On
the other hand, Saka is playing for Arsenal away from home at Old Trafford in a massive game where if Arsenal lose tonight, as much as they're confident, they'll be Emery out. So, that's my point, really. It's like we've always been the club that's about youth, and we've got a young striker who's actually been proving himself. And Arsenal have turned up away from home in a huge game where the world's watching with Saka playing, and we've decided to get a half-fit Rashford back and a misfiring Rashford over Greenwood, who everybody thinks is ready. So, I don't disagree with what you're saying there. I just think it exposes Ollie again as, when the going gets tough, Ollie goes back to experience. He isn't a manager like Sir Alex Ferguson. I mean, nobody is, but he's not that manager that everybody thinks he is, who is absolutely, I'm all about the youth. I think one of the other things he said that's going to make very interesting watching is that he said it's 2 attacking teams tonight. So are we going to attack?
Well, they'll have to. The only way you're going to beat Arsenal is by attacking. I mean, if you can get at David Luiz, you've got a chance. I mean, he is their weak link in defence. He is just Calamity Jones for them. So I think you've got a chance of attacking Arsenal and getting a goal if you attack in the right positions. Is Tierney playing for
No, he missed out as well. He's got an injury as well. So yeah.
Right. So that's a slight positive on our behalf. But I think when you look all over the pitch, you'd have to say our midfield is slightly better, maybe. I mean, Pogba's head and shoulders above the rest of them, but I don't know. Arsenal just have a knack of playing against us really badly. So maybe it's not going to go that badly tonight. But also, I was going to say, because Twanzebe's playing, which is great for the lad, is he playing at right back, or is Lindelof playing at right back?
I think it's sort of come out that he's playing at right back.
Because Lindelof started out as a right back. So...
Yeah. I do think it will probably be Twansebe. I mean, he could have put Young at right back and played Rojo. But actually, the back 5 is as good as it's going to be because Shaw and Delo are injured. So I think that is an argument in itself as to why we have so many bloody injuries. Again, we didn't buy enough in the summer, but that's old news. But Jordan Such says it's really pathetic though because Ollie will probably play Rashford on Thursday and again next Sunday, and we'll be surprised when he gets injured. I mean, this is the problem, and it's such a shame with Martial. I mean, if I'd known he was going to be out this long, I think I would have been more depressed. It's just so disappointing not to have him back. Simon Cliff says, Mark, would you like to see come in as striker either in January or the summer? For me, it's Timo Werner. Thoughts? Simon, I would love Timo Werner to come in, and welcome to Raj Kumar, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. But we are linked with 34 in May, Mandzukic. So, I sometimes wake up and think, have we suddenly got white stripes on our top to go with the red and called ourselves Stoke City?
Or
Sunderland, yeah. I mean, Mandzukic, I hate Mandzukic. I can't stand him. He's such a donkey. But, there's a good chance we'll be buying him. For what? I don't know. We're not that sort of team.
Paper talk. Well, it's all paper talk. Why would Ollie go for that? That doesn't go... That's completely opposite from what Ollie went for in the summer. I think that's all paper talk. Every time these players are unhappy at their clubs, they use Man United for clicks.
Yeah.
And the amount of players United were linked with over the summer, Mandzukic is probably on his way out. So they're thinking, another United headline.
So
But,
how do you feel
no,
about this game anyway? I've not actually asked you. I've purposely waited to get you on. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, by the way. We should hopefully get to 555,000 today. You'll see it when it changes. But I think we're about 300 subscribers off. It changes every 1,000 now. But what is your prediction on this game, Drawty? Because I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't, as a spoiler, well, everyone knows anyway. I've said I don't see us losing this game. And I've said that for weeks, and I'm still saying it now. I don't think United, however bad they are going to lose. It would be too significant a blow to United to be in the bottom half of the table and stay there through a loss to Arsenal at home. I just can't. Maybe it's because I can't work it out in my head, but I just can't see it happening.
I think this has got all the hallmarks of a 0-0. I think all this hype around the two teams, United being weak, United not having this player fit, this player being injured, Arsenal with their problems. I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to build up to be a 0-0 because I just think both teams don't want to lose this game. And I think also United are going to be so desperate to defend and not concede. Because up top, we've been a bit toothless with Rashford. And I just think for this game, I don't think we're going to have the cutting edge, especially if Pogba's probably carrying a knock. I don't think Pogba, we're going to see him at 100% today. He's probably playing around about 75, 80%. So don't expect a worldie from Pogba. I just think a functional performance. But I would like to see Lingard have a decent game, because when he is on song, he can be decent. He was dreadful against Rochdale. We know that. Less touches than Phil Jones, was it?
Which he went off at half time, and he was the number 10. But yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes managers need to keep playing players because they need to play themselves back into form. Sometimes, there's a lot to be said.
Given him plenty of time, hasn't he? He's been playing him for 8 months.
Yeah. But I guess, Arsenal's the kind of game where you really can't take too many chances. Yes, you could throw the youth in and say just go hell for leather, but that lineup is fairly attacking without Matic. I would imagine they'd have a go, but I just think both teams are going to cancel each other out. It's probably going to be 0-0.
And I think, what I would say now, because I'll say it now, because then if it happens, then at least people understand it. Scotty, let me just read some super chats. Scotty Dog says, protect Greenwood, what a load of rubbish. We do that with Owen and Rooney. When will Ollie learn Andreas isn't a right winger? Greenwood's better at right wing, says Michael Fetty. Welcome to Uzzi, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Ollie refuses to start Fred and play Pogba behind a striker. And that's from Lips Bearing Champ, which I actually think, again, is quite a significant thing. Pogba playing deep, you miss out on half of Pogba's game. And again, I do agree. I agree with everybody. I agree with the Pereira. I don't know why Pereira's starting. Lingard starting, I expected. Thanks for the contribution, Bano Ragusan. Simon Cliff says, Mark, forget about the Croatian Peter Crouch. You may as well re-sign Zlatan. He would be a leader on the pitch and would help develop Greenwood. But yeah, I just think that I think that the way we approach this game is going to be very, very interesting, and I think that. But I think in the last 10 games with Arsenal at Old Trafford, we've beat them 6 times and drawn 4, and that we saw with Leicester. I think there's very, very, very big similarities with the Leicester game. Brozan says we'll go for Musa Dembele, Zabata, or Werner, all of which are very good. But we expected Leicester to come and beat us, and we found a way to win. And I've got a feeling about that. But what I would say is if we draw, and if we look at the league table just very, very quickly, if we draw, United would go up to 9 points. So I think we would just slip in, because I think we're on +2 goal difference. So we'd go to 10th. So hooray, we'd be in the top half of the table. But
again, nosebleed.
I know. But again, I don't think a draw is massively good, because I think a draw is a bad result if you then realise we've got Liverpool coming up in 2 games time. I can't see us getting anything against them. And I do think we'll be in mid-table in November. I'm not going to say we're not going to get 4th, but I think we're going to be mid-table for a while.
But the thing is, you can look at it too negatively and go, we're going to be mid-table. It's not going to get any better. The players are rubbish. There was a spell under Ollie where we played really, really well at the start. So you don't know. It could click into gear, and then all of a sudden, one good result feeds into the next. We beat Chelsea 4-0. So it's not like the players aren't capable of doing something. Who's to say that we won't nick a 1-0 tonight? The players play really well. They're up for it. There's times when the players have done something special. Even under Jose, remember when we were 2-0 down to Newcastle and they pulled it back? to 3-2. So these players can do something. It's just whether they've got it in them tonight and they're up for it. I would hope so. It's Arsenal. It's a Monday night.
You're in the bottom half
of the table. Yes, and if Pogba wants to put himself in the shop window for the summer, he's going to have to start playing well as well. Because if he carries on, and we all know his quality and he's a fantastic player, but if he carries on in this vein of form of sort of not quite hitting the highs, Madrid might not come in for him next summer. PSG might not come in for him. So at some point, he needs to start performing for his own good, not just for Manchester United, for himself, so he can get the move he wants to go to. There's all that talk of looking at Marco Verratti, either to replace him or to go with him. I don't think Pogba's going to stay another year. So, to be honest with you, tonight is the kind of game these players really need to be performing in.
Tobias Grenfold says, stop with the negativity and let them play first. Look, I appreciate your passion, mate, and it's your opinion. Of course it is. But I think there's a lot of United fans in that live comments who are being negative. So I'm sorry if there's a bit of negativity, because it's only how people feel at the moment. And as I said,
someone just said I was too positive.
Well, you are positive, and I think I've just changed to the league table because that's why people are negative, mate. Where's Wally? Where's bloody Man United on that league table? We're not there. So I'm sorry, only an idiot would say United are going to win tonight. I like the positivity, but we are where we are, and that's why people are a little bit negative. And you might not like it, but I think people have got a right to be like that. As you've got a right to be positive and wait till see how we perform. As I've said many a time, I don't see United losing this game. So how's that negative? And I've said that for weeks. Football is football, and what? This effectively, if this was Rochdale at home to Arsenal in a cup game, you'd expect Arsenal to win, but you just never know. Well, we're Manchester United at Old Trafford against Arsenal, and many people's minds Arsenal are favourites, but it's Old Trafford, it's rammed, it's 75,000 people, it's a Monday night, it's wet, it's there's going to be some tasty tackles, the crowd will be up for it. Arsenal are known to be jelly babies as soon as they get past the Watford gap on the M1. So it wouldn't be surprised if United got something today. Bina Ragnarsson says we're hoping for a bad Arsenal so we can win. I don't. I think there's a lot of pressure on Arsenal, Draughty. I mean, since when have Arsenal come to Old Trafford, played us off the park and beat us? I know it has happened, but not very often. I watched them against Watford. I watched them against Watford 2 weeks ago. 2-0 up and cruising against the crap Watford defence, and they still nearly lost it. So what's changed in 2 weeks? Yeah, Arsenal have got a big opportunity here today, but I'm yet to see anything to make me think that, they're going to grab it.
I think Arsenal are a little bit like us, inconsistent. I mean, we are inconsistent. So I kind of think, you see people saying, Emery's tactics are dead sometimes and their players just aren't up for it. But it's a really hard one to judge. Normally, you can say going into Arsenal versus Man United, both teams are going to be at it and it's going to be a good game. But
it's exciting. It is exciting.
I think it could go either way. So, to be honest with you, it's hard to call. That's why I said a 0-0 draw, because I just don't know if they're going to cancel each other out. But for me, I just think there is something in this game tonight. It has to be. For the fans, for the players themselves, for the club in general, that we need a positive result. So I hope we don't lose. I'm not expecting United to lose tonight. I think grab a 1-0, I'd be happy with it. But I don't think it's going to be a classic 8-2 or 6-1 or anything like that. And I don't think, famous last words, I don't think they're going to batter us. Some people are going, they're going to knock in 3 or 4. But
anything's possible in football. I can understand why people are sort of saying that, of course. But
it is. But why did we buy Maguire then? I mean, if teams are shipping in 4 or 5 against us, what's the point in spending 80 million on Maguire? He's a damn good defender. Lindelof's a good defender. Twanzebe, he's no slouch. Twanzebe's a fucking brilliant defender. But
I mean,
I know there's question marks over Young, but I can't see Arsenal battering the defence too much.
I think the problem with the defence is, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get to 555,000 tonight. So if you've not subscribed, you can do it in the bottom right hand corner. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Fan cams. I think tonight's the night to stay up, unless it's a boring 0-0 draw. Tonight's the night to stay up, because we've got DT, Troops and Robbie doing fan cams on our channel. We've also got our regulars as well. So if we beat them, it's going to be watchable. And if we don't beat them, it's going to be very watchable, isn't it? So Marky says, what the hell is Ollie doing? Well, some people are happy with it, so let's see. Manix SJ says it's blatantly obvious that Ollie can't coach the team out of a bad situation. He's not playing the youth because he doesn't trust them. And Green MQ says, do you think United will go with a back three as a tactical change, Devon? I can't see how. Let me just change screen here. I don't see how we get 4-3-3 from that. No, that's the league table. We don't want that. We want this. I don't see how you turn that into a 4-3-3. So there's your subs for tonight, as you can see. Romero, Rojo, Brandon Williams, Fred, Mata, Matic and Greenwood. Yeah, you could play Twansibi, Lindelof and Maguire as a back three with Young as a left wing back. But who's your right wing back? You're not going to play Pereira as a right wing back or Lingard. So it will be a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-1-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Whatever you want to call it. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. Yeah, I think that... there are some baffling things to that team selection, but I still, everyone's saying, Draughty's being positive and you're being negative, Mark. Well, I'm the one who said I don't think we're going to lose, and I think a draw for United actually is probably quite a good result. Rojo won't get a red card, Charlie Welsh, because he's not starting. But no, what I was going to say, just quickly to come back at you, is I agree with you that Harry Maguire, David De Gea, Lindelof, Twansibi, they're good defenders, but the problem we're having is... it doesn't matter how good your back four and goalkeeper are, they can't pick up the midfield runners. That's not their job. And I think what's been going on is, with Matic isn't playing tonight, but McTominay's playing and Pogba's playing, and I don't think Pogba's a great defensive-minded midfielder. Pogba does this a lot. This is why I like Pogba to play more advanced, and I would like Fred to have played with McTominay. Pogba lets his man go a lot, and if that man is I don't know, it's hard to tell. I mean, what I would say is I'm really happy that Ceballos is not playing for Arsenal, because they've gone with Xhaka, Torreira and Guendouzi, all of which are quite defensive-minded themselves. So I don't know whether we've got any Arsenal fans watching, but I don't think they've been as attacking as they could be in the midfield. So that's what worries me about United conceding goals, is when you get the runners from the midfield, a bit like we had with Maddison when he nearly scored in the first 5 minutes. Our midfield isn't very good at picking up the runners, and if you're Maguire, you can't be picking a runner up from the midfield, and that's why we've been conceding a lot. But that is quite interesting. I think Arsenal fans, some of them will be moaning about that midfield because they've probably gone a little bit cautious themselves, which feeds into what you were probably saying about that this could be a draw.
I would have played Ceballos.
Ceballos. Yeah.
Is it Ceballos or Ceballos?
I call him Ceballos.
Ceballos or Ceballos or
Ceballos. Caballos, I don't know, but yeah, we know. I think he's really good, but he's more attacking, and they've gone more defensive.
I think playing Saka is a bit of a statement from them. I think they've got a lot of trust in that kid. And was it in the Europa? He got a goal, and he looked pretty decent. So sometimes it's the unknown quantity which is actually the more dangerous prospect. So. But here's the big thing, Pepe. If suddenly Pepe turns up tonight and has a good game, the banter levels are going to be off the charts.
I think some men, namely Flex and Rance, are setting themselves up at some point with Pepe, because as I like Dan James, but I would like to assign Pepe, and we'd have James on the left, and instead of Pereira, we'd have Pepe on the right. I really wish United had gone in for Pepe, but I genuinely, Andy Yunus says I would prefer Willock or Ceballos for sure. So exactly, that's an Arsenal fan saying that. Thanks, Andy. I actually rate Pepe Draughty. I do. I rate him, and I think because he hasn't scored a hat trick in every single game, we're 7 games in, and people are saying he's a flop. I don't think he is. I think there is an adjustment there, and he could end up being a flop, but it's way too early to say he is. And I really hope he doesn't turn up tonight, because I think at some point he will be.
It depends. So I haven't really got much more to add to that.
Do you think he's I've got you now in front of 16,000 people. Do you think Pepe will be a flop? You know me. I'm just going to ask you the question: is he going to be a flop?
No, I don't think he'll be a flop. No. I don't think Pepe's a flop. He was really, really good in France. Very good. Yeah. And I think sometimes players take a little bit of time to bed in, and then all of a sudden it just clicks, and then it goes for them. Did Lacazette bed in straight away? No, that's why I call him French Charlie Austin. Yeah, I like Lacazette anyway. I thought he was a decent striker. So, your banter, you like to just wind people up, though. That's the funny thing. I do not. I detest that. Ollie is risking Rashford to save his ass.
Rashford wasn't even expected to be in the squad, but he starts while Greenwood isn't starting, who has been called the best finisher by Ollie. Ollie is doing Jose things. That's from Henry William. Look, Wan-Bissaka, I spoke about it before you came on. That was the big shock today, and I saw some of your tweets about it, and it was a shock.
Where is he?
He's injured.
Is he injured? What's happened to him?
Well,
has he got an illness?
The problem is Wan-Bissaka was. I think Wan-Bissaka was a doubt for the West Ham game or something. He has been carrying an injury, and we played him for 90 minutes against Rochdale. So ultimately, and Rashford getting back, I think you've got to say fair play to Rashford. But again, he clearly isn't fit. Pogba was nearly missing because we played him in the week. It is. I mean, let me just read some of these super chats because they're flying in. But yeah, I want to ask you about that. Why is Draughty pretending to be English when he's Canadian? Says Red Baron. yeah, that's a long time.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for the contribution,
We'll
Zane.
skip over that one. Yep, move on next.
Jordan Such says, Ollie should not be given credit for not starting Matic and Mata given what happened at West Ham. He had no choice, but mark my words, they will be back next Sunday away to Newcastle. You can see it. World Boxing News says, Arsenal fan here, Emery has gone for a defensive side. I'm not sure why Manchester United are there for the taking with the front three that Arsenal have. They should be going at Manchester United. So there's two Arsenal fans who've basically... United fans, we should start to feel a little bit more confident because we've had two Arsenal fans now say that team's too defensive, and Arsenal fans are way more flip-flop than United fans, so they're not happy with the team. The Mandzukic backlash, FIFA career mode bashing, Ollie bashing, Unai bashing. My heart can't take all this negativity in one gulp. P.S. James will skin Chambers like a banana, says Lincoln Jack to me. I think he is going to be really, really key, to be honest with you. But yeah, the Wan-Bissaka thing's unfortunate. I just think Ollie is desperate. I think he's a manager who's trying to save his job. We've seen the league table. Everyone can talk about he's here for the long run and everything like that, but you're not here for the long run if you start falling down the table. So I think he's desperate. I think
he's got such a difficult job, though. Yeah, but he's got such a difficult job, and
but that's why he's playing Wan-Bissaka
earlier,
against Rochdale, and he's getting injured because he can't. He's probably thinking, I can't lose to Rochdale. When really,
yeah, but then Delo was injured as well. Yeah. So your options are very... I mean, who have we got to play in the fullback position? They just got rid of Darmian, so Darmian's not going to be able to play. You got Rojo, yes, he played quite well against Astana. You've got Delo's injured. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's now injured. Shaw's injured. That's your three fullbacks injured. You've now got Young. I mean, you class him as a fullback, but he's not a top quality fullback. So... I think at the moment, Ollie's just
are injured, aren't they? Well, that Brandon Williams is on the bench today.
Yes,
cameo against Rochdale.
But you're not going to start him against Arsenal, are you? He's only played his first game, so that would be a real baptism of fire. I just think at the moment, Ollie is his hands are tied. The club have got rid of a load of deadwood, brilliant, but they haven't replaced them. So he's gone into the new season basically with a squad full of depleted players. He's only got 3 signings in. All 3 signings have been brilliant, by the way. It's not like he's bought badly.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, actually, because I'm going to play devil's advocate here, even though you're the Draughty Devil, and I'm going to say, everybody keeps going on about, Maguire and James and Wan-Bissaka, and Ollie bought really well, he needs more time. We've only played 7 games. Matic, when we bought Matic, I went bloody mad. I couldn't stand it. But for the first 2 months, he was brilliant. Lukaku was very good at the start. Eric Bailly was brilliant at the start. Pogba was brilliant at the start. I think they will be good signings, but I think you've got to be very careful about saying they're good signings when we've only had 7 games. And I don't mean you specifically. I mean everybody's on about it. The press, everybody. Harry Maguire could suddenly go shit. Wan-Bissaka could go shit. Dan James could go shit. I think it's way too early for everyone to say, Ollie's bought so well, let's give him another summer. I think he will have bought well. I'm only playing devil's advocate here. I think they will be good signings, but it is very early to say they're great signings as well, because as we've seen with other players who start well, they can drop off quite quickly.
I think the problem is at the moment, every manager that's come in has bought who they wanted to bring in as their personnel, and then every next manager's got rid of everyone that they've bought. So it's this constant recycling of money going through and players coming in, players going out, people not being settled. Managers keep changing the tactics and the vision and the philosophy, whatever they want to call it. And I think it's got to a point now where Ollie came in halfway through a season that was basically going down the drain. managed to sort of rescue it, and then it sort of tailed off towards the end quite badly. It hasn't really got better from there, and now we're at the start of the season, and it's looking not great again, and everyone's gone into panic mode. And it's like, okay, well, supposing you did get rid of Ollie right now, and who do you bring in? Some people would say Pochettino. Well, he hasn't won anything. Yes, he's a good manager, but is he going to come at this point in the season? Would Spurs even let him go? Probably not. So what options are there right now to fix this? Because once you get rid of Ollie, all these players, well, the 3 players that just come in and all the things they've just been training over the last couple of months, scrap it, start again. And the whole cycle starts. And then that manager might not fancy Maguire. They might not like Daniel James. He might get frozen out. They might not like Wan-Bissaka. They might start playing Twanzebe at right back instead of Wan-Bissaka. You just don't know which way it's going to go. And at what point do you draw a line in the sand and say, let's actually give this manager some time? Yes, it could go tits up for a while, but let's just stick with it and see if it improves. Or do you cut your losses, start again, and then basically in January go, here's another 150 million, go save the season?
I can see both sides, and as everybody knows, I'm not Ollie out yet anyway, and I know people I really respect who are, and I know you're definitely not. Udit Bagnaga says this season is a waste. We won't find out if our youth is good enough because even our first team players aren't good enough. Atletico signed 10 players. You can ask me a difficult question before you go, Drawty, if you want, but I'm going to ask you another one. If United were to lose tonight comfortably, and 1-0, 2-0 can be comfortable if you're not in the game, we are definitively 11th. We would be, let me just have a quick look at the league table because we're on 8 points. So if we lose tonight, we'd stay on 8 points. We'd be 6 points off Arsenal. We'd be 6 points off Leicester in the top 4. We'd be 4 points off West Ham, 3 points off Chelsea and Spurs. So it's not massive, but it would be significant. I actually will say this right now. If we lose today to Arsenal, it's more significant than 3 points. It's Arsenal coming to United and beating us at Old Trafford. It would be a sight. I think some losses like West Ham, you go, it's disappointing, but we've got to move on. I think this would be more than 3 points lost. It would be a significant psychological blow to the manager and the whole club. What happens if we lose this? Is your confidence diminished, or do you think, let's carry on with this manager? He will turn it around. Do you start to? I'm not saying you're never going to be Ollie out if we lose, but do you start to have concerns, or is it just no, head down? Let's keep going.
Like, I'm a realist. I don't think he's got long left.
Yeah.
As much as I don't think, I want to see Ollie succeed. I don't think he's got long left if it carries on like this, because it's got that same. It's not like Mourinho where everyone was against Mourinho. It's more like they're fed up of the football and they're fed up of how the team are playing. So lose tonight, it's really not looking good. United down the bottom half. Yes, Newcastle next in the league, but that is a must win. You cannot then
with Liverpool
get anything less than a win. And then it's Liverpool. So you lose against Arsenal now, you win against Newcastle, but then you lose against Liverpool.
You're still mid-table.
Yeah, and I would kind of say at that point it might be curtains, because you're into the middle of October, end of October, and I think the panic buttons will start to go off. So I kind of think today's crucial. Newcastle's an absolute must-win, and then Liverpool he's probably got a little bit of breathing space for, but he can't afford to lose tonight because that just puts too much pressure on the Liverpool game.
I think after tonight and Newcastle, we've then got Liverpool, which is very hard at Old Trafford, and then we've got a run of about 4 or 5 games on away because of Carabao away to Chelsea, and I think we're away in the Europa, and then we've got Norwich and Bournemouth in the league away as well. So Nora Calder says Saka starting, Ollie proving he has no faith in the youth. I think that is embarrassing, Nora. We've spoken about that, and I think you're spot on. But I'll answer it as well. If we lose tonight, which I have not got I've got no plans for it. There's no. I'm going to go Ollie out. I am not even. It will just be spur of the moment how I feel. I don't know, because I do not expect to lose tonight. I know a lot of you do. I don't. I have faith that United will get something tonight, because I believe that at Old Trafford on a night like this with the world watching, you've got to. If the club means anything to you, there's more on the players, I think, tonight than the manager. I mean, the manager's picked the wrong team, I think, but I still think those players, Arsenal are fragile. If they put in a performance, we'll get something. But if we were to lose, I'd go with Drawty. I mean, I said it the other day. I said I'm not Ollie out, but if you're asking me to give an honest answer, I don't think he's going to succeed. I still want him to succeed. I'm not Ollie out, but
there's a difference between wanting the managers to succeed and knowing if he's going to succeed. Yeah. There's a difference between loving the guy because he's a United legend, but then looking at it dispassionately and saying, probably not got the tactical acumen, probably not the right top level manager. If everything was going well, he'd probably get you into the top 4, no problem. Is he that next level who's going to win you a Premier League? Probably doubtful. And I think in the cold light of day, you've got to look at it and go, these results are not going well. What happened to Caretaker Ollie? Caretaker Ollie was fantastic. It was full throttle football. Manager Ollie, it's been anything but. And I just fear the next couple of results are going to define his career.
The live comments are brilliant because there's some really people adamant against, and there's still people clinging in there, which is great. So we've got that sort of, not divide, we've got that both sides. What I just want to say about Ollie as well is that the job he's got is ridiculously difficult. And I think where people get muddled here is they acknowledge the difficulty of the job, like the lack of spending, some of these players are shit. You know, it's a very... And to get top 4 with that club, with that squad, we all said in the summer was ridiculously hard. But that only compounds the mistake of the board, because it's a ridiculously hard job for anybody. But if there's doubt over Ollie as to whether he's even good enough, then of course he's going to struggle. Because I think Pochettino would struggle with that squad. Pep would struggle with that squad because they wouldn't know how to play tiki-taka. But that doesn't excuse Ollie if he's ultimately not good enough. It just makes it's a difficult job for Pep. It's a difficult job for my postman. You know, you've still got to have the acumen to actually do the job, and that I think is what the Ollie outers have woken up to. Is that they don't?
I think it's very, very divided at the moment. It's extremely divided. I think you've got people who are very ardent Ollie fans who want him to succeed and are just willing him to succeed.
Yeah.
You've got the ones who always see, nothing ever. The club can never do any wrong. And then you've got the ones who basically sometimes people just want to be negative for the sake of being negative. And then you've got the trolls, because the trolls always just want to be negative because they just want to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to be careful in analysing what the situation is and how people are, because to be fair, a lot of social media is just people jumping in on a bandwagon and just adding into the fire. It's not necessarily that they think they believe it, they're just adding to it, because we just know what social media is like anyway. But at the moment, Ollie's not doing himself any favours. He's had a massively difficult job. He's been decimated by injury at the moment with his team, which is not helping at all. And then he's kind of being forced into a situation playing under fit players, and then he's getting the blame for that. Look at the medical staff. What are the medical staff training them like? The physio and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not the manager always that does it. So, I mean, didn't Wenger have a problem with Arsenal a couple of years back where they just kept consistently getting injuries, and he changed the medical staff?
Yeah.
So it's not always the manager. Sometimes, you could say, well, you probably should have protected him. But then there's been times where Sir Alex would chuck a player in who he knew was injured, but they had to do a job. So I think at the moment, it's got a feeling of last December, which isn't nice, but it's kind of feeling that way already this stage in the season.
Massive game. I can't keep saying it enough. Tonight is massive. Yeah. People say 10 o'clock tonight. I know it's not often in football that you get, that in 2 hours it could be the most significant game of our season, really. I think that, as I said, if we lose it, I think it's going to have big connotation. And what I would say is, if we lose it, Ollie's not getting the sack. I personally would say to all the Ollie inners, you're probably on the right side, because I think this board this time, whether they're right or wrong, are going to stick with him a long time. And it needs.
Do you trust them to do that though? Honestly, do you trust?
I think they will until I think they'll. If you look at Mourinho, he was sacked when we were 8th? Were we 8th or something like that? I think Ollie won't get sacked till we're unless we drop right into the bottom half. I think they'll stick by him, hoping it's going to turn it round. I genuinely do. Whether that's right or wrong, I don't think they're going to sack him this time. I don't.
All right, but put it like this. A lot of these players are the ones that down tools under Jose. So have they got the mentality to pull themselves out of it again? Has Ollie got the respect of the players enough to be able to turn it around, if so?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I mean, Jordan Such says, Ollie said United were looking for a striker in the summer, but they wasn't the ones we wanted, Llorente and Mandzukic. Yeah, for anybody who didn't catch that, very interesting quote coming out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying that you don't need to be a rocket scientist to realise that the next player we're going to sign is going to be a striker, that we were looking in the summer, but the right player wasn't available. I mean, it's like the midfield thing again. 2, why are we not looking for a midfielder? Because that should be the priority. And 1, there was plenty of strikers available in the summer. plenty of. But I don't believe anything about transfers that comes out about United, and I've said that consistently now. The summer wasn't 2 weeks; it was 4 months, and they shouldn't have let Lukaku and Sanchez go if they didn't have a striker coming in. That's the bottom line.
Right, and on that note, I am going to have to go.
No worries, mate. Well, thanks for popping on.
I'm just going to say very quickly, because you said ask you a difficult question. How long do you think Ollie has got left?
I think it's all about the result tonight. I think if he gets a draw or a win tonight, he's probably going to be all right until November. I think if he loses tonight, I think October's going to be a very difficult month if he loses today. So I always said when people said he'll be gone by Christmas, I never really thought that. But you know what? I think a lot of those people who predicted that they might not be far off, but I think this is the most pivotal 90 minutes in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Manchester United career. He has to get a result, and the big thing for me as well is why I think we will get a result is if those players should know what we know. So if they can't go out tonight, this is why I'm putting it on the players. If the players can't go out there tonight and get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this man that they apparently all are with, a result, he ain't the right man, is he? Because the players aren't with him. Whether they say they're with him, if they can't put a result in for him tonight, then we may as well start thinking about changing it, because it's not like a secret thing on the United stand. Tonight's a massive game. Everyone knows it's a massive game, and the players know it as well. So, and we're at home, so they need to turn up. I'd say the same if we were going to the Emirates, and Emery's job was on the line. I'd say Arsenal players have got to turn up tonight.
We'll see.
What about you? Do you think he'll be gone by Christmas?
Hey?
Do you think he'll be gone by Christmas?
I'm not saying either way. I don't know. It depends how today goes.
Silence is golden.
Ask me. Yeah, well, the thing is, at 10 o'clock tonight, it could all change. We
Exactly.
could be singing and dancing because we've beaten Arsenal. So it's not over until the fat lady sings. So to be honest with you, let's just see what the game turns out like.
Thanks for coming on, mate. I'll speak to you in a bit.
No worries. Take it easy. See ya.
Cheers, pal. We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff. It'll be me and you lot now, so let's get into the live comments. Guzman Game says, is it too much to ask for the manager of the biggest club in the world to be world class? Twan Sebi at right back and a championship coach, please. Look, the best bit of the game is about to come. The best bit of the stream is about to come, and that's when the game kicks off and we can get involved in that. I totally agree with all the negativity. I totally agree with all the concern. But as I just said there, that's probably the best way I can put it. If we know this game's massive, if we know losing this game basically destroys our season, then the players know it. And football, you think about relegation battles. You think about a team like Brighton. If they're in the bottom three come April and they're playing Man City at home, of course Man City are probably going to win that. But would it surprise you if Brighton won it? Because they're playing for their careers. They're playing for their future. Football can be a leveler because of circumstances. That's why I don't think United lose tonight. Not because I don't think Arsenal can beat United, and not because I don't think Arsenal have got a better team than United, but because United have got to get something tonight. It's not just 3 points. It's not Burnley rocking up to Old Trafford, we've drawn. It's bloody Arsenal, a big rival for us at the moment for top four, and also a game you can't bloody lose because we'll get absolutely bantered forever. And also, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's under huge pressure. So if these players truly do want to play for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they'll all go out tonight. Well, when I'm doing the player ratings at 10 o'clock, I expect to beat every single player above a 7, and 6 is average. I'm expecting that tonight. I'm not promising that, but I'm expecting that because I can't see how anybody could put in a bad performance today. It's such a big game and it's so pivotal to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future that if people put bad performances in today, they're either not good enough or they're not behind the manager. Mark, honestly, I look at the starting 11 and I simply say I don't get it. This talk of youth is an absolute lie. Talk is cheap, says Alligator. And Nick P says, as if Ed's going to sack Ollie after the amount of rebuild propaganda they've been feeding us for the last few months. Ed's slim reputation is on the line. I agree with you, Nick. I think it would get to a point where he needs to be sacked, but I think the club would just wait and wait and wait. I really do. I think they'll just wait for the miracle. They'll wait for the turnaround. Udit Bhatnagar says, and you know what? If we did lose tonight, and we did lose to Newcastle, and we did lose to Liverpool, and we did draw with Norwich away, and we did lose to Bournemouth, and we were down in the relegation zone, I still don't think they'd sack him. I don't think there's any appetite from the club to sack him. And that's the scary thing, because what if he's the wrong person, but they're going to be stubborn thinking he's going to be the right person? That's the worst case scenario. And you sort of wish they'd done that with Mourinho or Van Gaal, because they might have turned it round, because they are credibly good managers. But with Ollie, we don't know if he's good enough. So how can you be confident that he's going to be good enough? Can Ollie stabilise United with this squad? Problems are like branches and the trunk are people behind signings. DJ outstanding, our first team attack, says Udit Naga. And Ian Gathaki says 3-4-3 would make more sense with these players. Unless Arsenal attack the wins, then we can switch back to 4-3-3. Well, Ian, I'm very excited by this game anyway, but I'm very excited to see how we start the game. I said this on the show last night at 8 o'clock, that if I was manager of this club, and I think a lot of you would agree with me on this one, if I was the manager of this club, I would say, and it's not going to really happen, is it, with Twansibi, because he's not an attacking right back, but I would have said to this team, first 5 minutes, the weather's perfect for this as well. First 5 minutes, crunch into some tackles, get up for it, be up for it on the front foot, push Arsenal back, make them nervous, get the crowd up for it. Emery's already gone with quite a defensive midfield. Push them back in the first 5 minutes and get that the rhythm of the game. Because if you let Arsenal have it and they get the rhythm and we end up being the defensive side, that's how the game's going to go for the rest of the game. We got to get hold of this game in the first 5 or 10 minutes. Push Arsenal back. Make them scared. Make them realise they're up against somebody. The first 5 minutes of this game are absolutely key. I want to see Pogba, McTominay, Lingard, Rashford, James, Pereira biting into tackles, winning the ball back, moving it quick, making them make mistakes, making them nervous. That's what you've got to see in this game. That's what we've got to see. Thanks. Welcome to Charlie Welch, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Yes, let's see how we get on then, everybody. Let's see how we get on. Greenwood for Lingard. Well, I think Greenwood should have started Carl Goring. I really do. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll give you a live subscribe account because I can do that. It doesn't do it on this screen anymore. But we are currently on 554,632, 636. So we just got 4 more there. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Let's see if we can hit 555,000 tonight. We're getting very, very close to kickoff. In fact, we're 3 minutes away. The players are coming out onto the pitch. I mean, you've got to see a big performance from Jesse Lingard tonight, haven't you? You've got to see a big performance from Marcus Rashford tonight. If you're going to get yourself back fit, and there's a young lad on the bench called Mason Greenwood who could have played, you've got to put in a performance tonight. And that's not pressure on these lads. This is a reality. These are lads who've come through our youth setup. They should know what it's all about. And I'm expecting it. I always say going into these games, you never know what you're going to get with Manchester United. But I am absolutely, call me an idiot, I'm absolutely expecting Manchester United to go out there tonight and put in a performance for us. So let's see what happens with it, because why wouldn't we in a game of this magnitude? Why wouldn't we? And let's be honest as well. There are some Arsenal fans who are a little bit concerned about how defensive their midfield is. But having said that, Guendouzi, Xhaka and Torreira might dominate our midfield anyway. Please to God, don't give Ollie money and insist on playing youth, says Spencer D. Yeah, the youth dream's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Greenwood on the bench and Saka starting for Arsenal. Bit embarrassing, but first 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. That's key. On from that, let's see what happens. But the first 5 to 10 minutes is going to be absolutely key. And I'm intrigued as to see how we're going to get on. Aubameyang, you just know he's going to score, don't you? You just know he's going to score. Please don't score. Please don't score, Aubameyang. We don't want you to score, of course. Right. Leslie Lai says Arsenal cannot defend because Emery don't know how to park a bicycle, let alone a bus. Well, there was a feeling amongst Drawty that this could be a draw tonight. It could be a draw tonight. Could be a draw. I'll tell you what I would say, though, is there is absolutely no excuse. There is no excuse to be given to Marcus Rashford that he's injured or he's playing with an injury, because it didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. Please, Ian Gathke says, I totally agree with that. Release the 7 and have 3 centre-backs sit back, kind of like City do, but with Twansibi ahead of them. And Upbeat Sarcastic, do you think the board is interfering with the team selection? Can't imagine this is how he wants to play with Pogba so deep. The thing is, it's such an interesting change in the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job. It is. It's nothing like how he got the job. So, let's see how we start this game. Please do share the video. Bottom underneath, you can click and share it on Twitter and Facebook. And please do subscribe. Casanova Baby with the pumpkins. It is that time of year. It's dark nights in the UK. This could be dark times for Manchester United if we don't get the result we need in this game. It's Arsenal to kick off. It's exciting. This is what we love this game for. Let's hope the United players can deliver us some joy this Monday night, because we need it and we need 3 points. The referee's about to kick off, and it is off. And the timer's up and running as well. Can't wait, says Noel Ryan. Here we go. So Rashford straight on the attack. Dan James is playing off the left. Lingard's playing central. Pereira's playing on the right wing. Pogba and McTominay deep. Ashley Young is actually playing at right back. Twansabi is playing at left back. So that's a quick one for you. Ashley Young is playing at right back. Twansabi is playing at left back. You know what? I think that's a bit of a bottle job by Ollie straight away, because Ashley Young's the more experienced player, and he's played against the likes of Hazard and Salah and done good jobs, and you're sticking Twansabi against Pepe, whereas Young gets to play against the young youth player Xhaka. But United started off quite well here. They've got a bit of the ball. I would like to see Ashley Young getting forward a lot, and Arsenal have it back now. But a quick start from United is what we want to see. TV Fanatic says bottle job ? Well, Ashley Young always plays at left back, and one of Arsenal's best players is playing on the right wing. So why would you switch Ashley Young to play against the youth player on the right hand side and play your youth player against their best player Pepe? I think Young should have been up against Pepe. Twansabi should have been up against Saka, because it's a more even match. Saka's a youth player for Arsenal. Twansabi is effectively a youth player for us, and Pepe is an experienced player, and so is Ashley Young. So I don't know why we've moved Ashley Young from left back, but Pogba's just been caught in possession there, and then McTominay wings it back. Good play by McTominay, and he's earned a free kick. Dazza11 says, come on lads, a draw at least. Mark, are we playing with 2 holding midfielders again? If yes, I'm done, says George Ramos. Should have changed formation to park the bus once again. We are playing with 2 holding midfielders. I think we all knew that was going to happen. Jocelyn makes me laugh, says Rooney's going to score. Not the fast-paced start I wanted, but it's still only 2 minutes in. You know, it's wet. It's very wet out there at the moment, and that there will be mistakes with the ball because of that. It's absolutely gushing it down, and that's gone out for a throw-in. Noog Man 7 says, can you give me a shout out? Newland Paul says, old players forgotten how to play under Mourinho. They don't make runs and they take time on the ball. They're afraid of mistakes, which makes us less creative. Yeah, if anybody ever plays FIFA, you see the players who play like Jose with their they take a touch before they play the pass. To be good at like FIFA 20 and FIFA 19 and 80 and everything like that, you've got to get into a rhythm of moving the ball quickly, because it stops the opposition getting into position. He probably trusts Twansabi more defensively, says Michael Sauter. Yeah, he probably does, but there's a good long ball here, and Twansabi's done very well, concedes a corner. So it's Arsenal a bit on the front foot at the moment. Ruth Whelan says, I can't see United getting the first goal. Greenwood's on the bench, Bob Harambe. Corner to Arsenal, says Soph. Ashley Young on David Luiz. That's a bit of a mismatch. Why are we doing that? Cross comes in. Maguire. That's what we bought him for. And that's a handball. By Saka. Your boy says, come on Lingard, you're the future, man. Yeah. Only 17 plus 10. 2-2, what's your prediction? Says Big Boy Benny. Come on, United. I haven't actually... All I've said is I don't think United will lose. So my prediction is... I'm going to give it... I'm not going to sit on the French. I'm not going to say, oh, it could be this, it could be that. My prediction is going to be... I I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw. I might go 1-1. I do think it'll be a draw. I don't think it's set up to be a great game because of the weather anyway. I mean, it's absolutely teaming it down. And I do think we'll get a performance from United. I do. Here's Pogba on the attack into Pereira. I mean, it's just I don't rate Pereira. Zayn Miasi, thanks for the contribution. I bet Zayn's arse is twitching like a rabbit's nose. Arsenal fan. Apparently Arsenal haven't won it here since 2006. They've had 8 defeats and 4 losses. Unless I've read that wrong. Right, here's Dan James, his first little foray with the ball. Lingard into Pogba. You see, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? We get the ball in a wide position there, and there's no movement there. But United on the ball, but it's not. You know, the crowd are up for it, but it's not the. It's not Arsenal getting a lot of people behind the ball. You know, it's very easy to say United part the bus, but to be fair, I think Arsenal, in many ways, as is their right as the away team, it's almost like Arsenal are trying to play the United way of. That's a lovely ball out by Aubameyang to Pepe. Took a bit of a while to get hold of it, but cross comes in and it's into the Hayes' hands. Ollie's problem is the suit. Get him a tracksuit, says Alex Prentice. 8 defeats and 4 losses, says Elra. Thanks for the clarification on that. Yeah, I mean, Arsenal definitely defensively in the midfield with Torreira, Guendouzi and Xhaka. It's not as attacking as maybe they could have gone. No, I don't even know if Ozil's fit. Is Ozil on the bench? But Sabias is on the bench as well. So, you know, Arsenal have got options to go a little bit more attacking if they want to. But Arsenal's front three with Pepe, Aubameyang and Saka is definitely set up to hurt United on the break. I think, you know, I'm no Arsenal fan. I don't really care about Arsenal. But if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't really have a problem with the way they've come today. I know Arsenal wanted to be more attacking, but you are playing at Old Trafford and, you know, force United to come out. United's great strength at the moment, and Emery will have seen United against Leicester. They sat back and got a goal on a penalty and then sat back. If I was Emery, I'd be like, the worst thing we can do is try and attack them and leave gaps at the back. We've got to sit back and attack them and see if they'll come out of it. Can't believe how Manchester United versus Arsenal fixture is failing, but come on United, says Rail, Kyle Brown and More. Pereira is horrible, says Sands, but United on the attack here now with McTominay. Pass backwards. Got to go forwards, mate. There was momentum in that movement. You've got to go forwards. There's Dan James. He'll go forward. Doesn't know. Doesn't have. There's no reverse on Dan James. Into the box. Decent cross. And we got a corner, you see. Dan James running at them straight away. They're on the back foot. He gets a cross in and we win a corner. That's what you need. Direct play. Dan James knows what he's doing. Already doing better than Pepe. I said it before the game. Dan James is key. Well, let me just say this. What about Harry Maguire? What about Harry Maguire from a corner? He is going to score a corner at some point, isn't he? Ashley Young. Why doesn't Pereira take corners? This is what amazes me. Pereira's not actually that good on the pitch, but see, hanging up a corner there. Chance. Rashford on the back post. It's gone for a goal kick. I mean, I don't like this sort of corner. It's drifted up high. Maguire wins it. And then it drops to Rashford, who just, you know, he's not on his toes. He needs to be on his toes there a bit. I'd rather, you know, Maguire's not going to score from a corner if you're hanging it up like that. You've got to put it in with a bit of pace. And I think Pereira can do that. I always think Pereira's playing because he's got the dead ball ability. This is good from Twansebi. And they've lost Dan James. There might be a yellow card there. I think there will be a yellow card there. And that's exactly what you want to see. Arsenal's right back, I think it is, booked in the first 10 minutes for a foul on Dan James. Brilliant. And all comes about from Twansebi driving forward away from lazy Pepe. And it was a foul off the ball. And that puts, you see what I mean? People say, oh, we're not going to lose, we're not going to lose. We've never even thought about red cards and stuff like that, have we? These things can all make a very, very big difference in this game. Ashley Young again, drifting it up towards the back. Maguire wins it. And it was offside anyway. How are you offside off a bloody free kick? That's shocking, lads. Come on. I know it's raining, but you should be able to see the line. Wasters. Wasters, that is. I thought Lingard was supposed to be on the pitch, says Adam Filthy. I've seen him make two 5-yard passes backwards, Adam, so I'm not having any of that Lingard hate. He's only a kid. He's only 17. I don't think the Pereira hate is completely fair. He does pretty well when he plays centrally, but he is playing on the wing, says Zayden. Yes, and Rashford's just tricked himself there, but he's kept hold. No, bad pass. Arsenal have got it back. Guendouzi. That's a United throw in. United are trying to play quick, to be honest. Here is Pereira to Pogba. Mark, what do you think of the Kazuki Honda statement, says Anton Mack? Oh, get lost. He's done. And that's a crap cross from Ashley Young. Rashford just does not have that instinct, says B. Yakov. You know what Rashford's big problem is, and I've been thinking about this for the last few months now. He just doesn't anticipate anything. Like, he's got lead in his feet. You know, like Lukaku was trampoline toes, well, and Timberland boots, but Rashford's lead feet. You know, he's got bloody magnets on his feet, and they stick him to the ground. He doesn't anticipate anything. Like, his final ball's not that good. When he doesn't think about it, he's fine. When he just gets a shot off or whatever like that. But when he's got to think about something, he doesn't do it. And in the box, he's so static. He just doesn't move in the box. He's got to be on his toes, and he just isn't. But here is United. Oh, I thought we were going to feed it into Dan James there. At the moment, this game is suiting United because it's a bit of a battle. It's a bit of a battle, and that suits United because it's not about ability. And I think one of the big positives for United tonight may well be the weather, because it's not a good. Torreira's hurt himself here. It's not a good good surface to get down and play football. Josh Watkins says Lukaku's touch wasn't bad. That wasn't that bad, to be fair. Josh Watkins, we know who you are. You're really Romelu Lukaku. You're not hiding behind an alias. Your first touch is rubbish, mate. I like Twansebi, though. I like Twansebi. He's steady. He's very, very steady. McTominay, go forward. Yes, that was slightly a forward pass, thank God, to Young. And then he's gone backwards to Twansebi again. You see, this is where people get it wrong about McTominay. They think he's amazing. I think he's good, but a lot of the balls he plays are the safe ball. Like, he goes backwards a lot. And if you've ever played football at any level, there's always a backwards pass on. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 yards or 50 yards. If you're passing backwards, there's not a lot to it. He needs to start playing forward. See there, he tried to play forward and he lost it. Let's go back to playing backwards again. Anyway, Arsenal are on the attack now. They've got a 2v1 situation because Pereira's out of position. Kolasinac, good crap cross. And De Gea's got it, which is good. Because I think Pereira is trying to wander forward a lot. And here's Pogba. And he gets it rid of to Maguire. Greenwood's not playing because Rashford's playing, Tom Wright. Lingard is missing again, I see, says Bogdan Gavrila. Hey, it's a 90-minute game. He's got his dance moves ready. He's just waiting for that goal. Here is Lingard. He's on the ball now. Sideways pass. You see, it wasn't backwards. He can pass sideways as well. McTominay, backwards pass. Pogba, backwards pass. Too many touches. Everybody takes too many touches on the ball at United. There's no impetus at all. Young, backwards pass. Lindelof, go forward. Goes forward, blocked. Also, when has Rashford ever scored a header? Says B. Yakov. Yeah, exactly. He's got lead in his boots. He's too lazy. We take it. Sophie says it as well. We're taking way too many touches. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know how we're doing. I'll let you know how we're doing for subscribers. Bottom right hand corner. It changes every 1,000 now. It's this new YouTube algorithm, but I can go into the background. So we've got 554,821. So we're 179 short of 555. So please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Make sure you smash a like on video. 15 minutes gone. 72% possession to Manchester United. Arsenal definitely trying to soak us up, I think, and hit us on the break. Somebody just said there that Rashford hasn't scored a goal in open play. Rashford has scored 1 goal from open play in the last 6 months. That's from Dev. I don't know whether that's true or not. Very stop-start game. Well, that's a very good point. Stephen Pope. Manchester United dominating the ball but doing nothing with it. I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm actually going to put a tweet about it like that because it's true. All it does is serve to confuse, doesn't it? What is the game plan at Manchester United? Because when Ollie came in the first 3 months, it was quick, fast movement of the ball. It wasn't a possession-based game. It was quick, fast play. Here's Dan James. Goes into the box. And it's a goal kick. But yeah, remember, Chambers has got a yellow card. So I would try and get the ball to Dan James as quick as possible. But that's going to be a problem. If we're moving the ball slow, by the time Dan James gets the ball, he's got 2 or 3 players near him. We need to move the ball quicker. I don't know why we don't move the ball quicker forward. A lot of teams do it. We don't. Gary Neville just listed all the young United players and mentioned Lingard amongst them. Truer words have never been said. I mean, that's a joke, Imrano TV. An absolute joke. Lingard made his debut under Sir Alex, didn't he? You know, that's how long ago it is since Lingard should be classed as a youth player. You're not a youth player if a sacked manager played that player. Like Rashford's not a youth player. I know he is technically from the youth, but he can't be classed as a youth player because he was given his debuts by Van Gaal. So you've inherited a first team player. Youth players are players that you bring through. There we go. Young's put it out for a throw in. Beans, says Sam Tischler. Bit of a boring game so far. Ollie, Draughty was right. He said that he fancied a draw in this game. United attack is banana instead of sword. Arsenal defence is slice of bread instead of a shield. So it's a banana sword against a slice of bread shield. That's still going to be hard to break. One of them needs to be a proper shield, don't they? I tell you what, I do like Guendouzi though. I do like Guendouzi, and even some Arsenal fans don't like him. But I'd love him at United. He's got all the attributes I think our defence midfield misses, which is, you know, speed of movement, tasty in the tackle, nice little ball over Twansebi there. He's read it well though. Good play by Twansebi. He's been my man of the match in the game so far. Chambers trying to get forward, and that'll be a goal kick. He's doing fantastically well so far, Twansebi, isn't he? He's my man of the match. He's sort of stepped into those Wan-Bissaka boots. He's not... I tell you what, Twansebi is knocking on the door of first team football, isn't he? He is. And he's on the ball now, bringing it forward. Pogba now. Pogba's playing way too deep though, way too deep. And that ball from McTominay there needed to go back to Pogba, because now it's back, and it gives it to. See, that annoys me. It goes to Pogba 3 passes too late. McTominay needed to give it back to Pogba first time. Instead, he goes to Young to get it back to go to Pogba. That's 10 seconds. Well, it's 5 seconds and 3 passes that didn't need to be played. We're trying too many. You know what we do as well? We try long balls to go forward. Why don't we just whip it round the floor forward? Why can't we do quick 5-yard passes forward? It's always a long ball. Here's Lingard. Backwards. McTominay tries to go forward, tackled by Guendouzi. And now it's this lad, Xhaka. He's got Lingard with him. That'll be a foul by Lingard. I think he had to do the foul as well. Arsenal are saying it should be a yellow card. Torreira's grabbing the referee and saying yellow card. Book Torreira. You can't push the referee aside. It's not a yellow card. Leave it. It was a bloody handball anyway. Judy Hops says, sorry to go off topic, Toon fan, but my son loves you, Man United. Take him to Old Trafford for the Liverpool game on the 14th. Anything else in Manchester recommend visiting? Stay positive. Thanks, Judy. I'm sure there's plenty of things in Manchester that you can do. The Lowry, the Imperial War Museum of the North, the print works. There is a lot to do. Just Google it. Things to do in Manchester. But it's a nice place, Manchester. Crick MUFC, we're the only top 6 side. Wait a minute. Arsenal on the attack here. David Luiz. Chambers picks it up on the back stick. And McTominay probably should have put that for a corner. And they're whizzing crosses in at the moment. Arsenal, that's a throw-in. We're the only top 6 side who can't pass the ball through the thirds. That's frightening when you realise that we can't pass the ball at this level. You're right. The passing in the third is terrible. I'll take a note of that, actually, for half-time. And Daniel John Hansen says, I'm the only one who thinks that Rashford is essentially Danny Welbeck 2.0. Well, United are on the attack here with Rashford. He's got a lot of space and he's got it into Pogba early enough. Now, Pogba needs to go to Dan James. He's gone to him. The pass is a little bit too hard. I think it needed to go a little bit quicker as well. He sort of dallied onto it there, Pogba. Cross comes in. Cleared. But then, like Rashford gets it. He gives it to Pogba. And it needed to go to Pogba quicker than that. It needed to go to Dan James quicker. And the pass is too long to James. And it's a second too late as well. We run too much with the ball, says Biggie Third. Exactly, Pogba there. He's get it out your feet, give it to Dan James. It was that was a second away and a good pass from putting Dan James in a really good position. Stephen Willock says just zero creativity, get halfway up, then stop, which is what we're doing now. Look, I know Arsenal are getting plenty of men behind the ball, but you've got to move the ball quicker. Don't let them set. Like McTominay, where are you going to go? Forward, that's better. Into Lingard. Now turn and pass. Turn and pass. Yes. Dan James. Lingard on the edge. Oh, come on. Some of our passing's terrible. McTominay now. Give it to Dan James. Yeah. Cross comes in. No one on the front. Look at where Rashford stood there. Look at where Rashford stood there. He's stood on the bloody penalty box. Dan James is putting a cross into the front post. Now, I'm not saying that Rashford would have got there, but he's got to make the moves. He's got to be on his toes. He's got to be like a hobbit at a urinal. Get on the bloody toes, Rashford. You're just standing still in the box waiting for a miracle cross that's never going to come. You've got to move in the box. Told you McSauce is bossing. Says ladies call me a goat. What's he bossing? I don't know what he's bossing. That was a good ball in from Dan James. A lot of you are saying that. And he stood miles away on the penalty spot. Like, what striker stands on the penalty spot when your winger's going to whiz it in, clearly going to whiz it into the space at the front post? He just hasn't got that in his locker. And Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer did, so he'll have told him what to do. He's just clearly not picking it up. Here's Xhaka against Young, and that is a foul that time. And it's a no advantage. Michael Clegg, why is no one in the box when the ball is crossed in? Exactly, Michael, exactly. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. 22 minutes gone in this game, and it's already. You can tell this game. It ain't going to be a 3 or 4-0 to anybody. This is going to be as tight as a duck's arse. It really is. Corner for, well, it's not a corner. It's a free kick for Arsenal to whip in. We shouldn't be getting beaten in the air here. Twansebe's good in the air. Maguire's good in the air. And I don't think Arsenal have really got anybody who's that good in the air. And it's not a very good cross anyway. And it's gone for a goal kick. So that was a total waste of time. Not one shot on goal yet, says Paul O'Reilly. And he needs to play the youth, says Nipsey Don. I'd be interested to, if we've got any Arsenal fans in the live comments, like Zane. What are your thoughts on the game, Zane? Because I would say, someone says banging game. It's not. I think it's a tense game if you're a United or an Arsenal fan. If you're a City or a Liverpool fan or even a Chelsea fan, you're probably laughing your head off going, look at these two teams. They're absolutely shit at football. But for us United and Arsenal fans, obviously, it's tense because you're engaged in it, aren't you? It's not a very good game, but you're engaged in it. if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be too bothered. I can see what your game plan is. It's about being defensively compact, which is dangerous with your defence, but you've got 3 defensive midfielders in there. You're closing the space. You know United aren't very good at creating chances. So I think Arsenal would be looking at this and saying, we should get a clean sheet. And if we can nick a goal on the break, we should win it. And I think that's Arsenal's game plan. And I don't really see a major problem with that. Dane Sumner, why does Rashford just stand and stare at players when he gets the ball to his feet? He thinks he's playing in League One. He just hasn't got anticipation in the box. Arsenal looking comfortable in defence, says everything, says Jordan Such. I think we're waiting for a mistake, aren't we? We're waiting for a mistake. But Pepe is in Twansebi's pocket at the moment, and I know it's only 25 minutes in, but he really is. And Pereira there. I mean, it's Dan James, I think, actually. Red Jedi saying Pereira's right wing for United. I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. Apparently a striker's the priority, but you've got Pereira playing at right wing. Cross comes in, Maguire gets rid of it. 2 bold men fighting over a comb, says hardly working. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's have a quick look at the league table for a moment, actually. So, if this was to end up in a draw, United would go up to 10th on 9 points because we're on 8 points at the moment. We've got a better goal difference than Burnley. And Arsenal would go up to... joint 4th with a draw. So... yeah. That's it. Xander Vicky says this is so hard to watch. Why are we so lethargic? Well, you know what? It has been lethargic, and what I said at the start of the game was that we needed United to really. Oh, here we go. Bit of luck. That's it. Fleet. Oh, he's not going to get there, Rashford. And it's a foul on Socrates anyway. I think Rashford is going to get a yellow card. I don't know whether that was a yellow card by Rashford. Mitchell Martin says, I'm City fan, mate, and I just want to say your commenting on the game is actually amazing. Keep up the good work. Thanks, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Rashford's about to get booked. I think he's unfortunate here, Rashford, because it's basically a mistake by David Luiz. He's got a ball to dive in and go for. Ooh, I don't know. He doesn't need to leave his foot up like that. He deserved the yellow card there, Rashford, actually. I thought he was trying to reach to get the ball, but he's gone with his foot up, so it is a yellow card. I thought it was like it being a little bit wet, but he didn't need to leave his foot up. So yellow card's about right. Could have been a red, says Chub. Yeah, would have been harsh in a game like this, I think. There's a lot of fouls in this game, though. Watch out. Arsenal's about. Chambers. Very difficult game for both teams, though. You can just tell by the weather is playing havoc. It's another free kick there. So it's so stop-start because the ball is so wet and the ground is so wet. 2 attacking teams, says Gary Byrne with a smiley face. Yeah, we were promised that. Weren't we? Liverpool are top of the league and Kings of Europe, says Paul McCartney. Yeah, but you don't win the league in October, mate. It's not even October. How much has Rashi improved since his debut, says Red Jedi? Well, he's found Pereira's got the ball here, and what are you going to do, Pereira? Oh, he got a shot off. Well done. He got a shot off there, and fair play to Pereira there. I mean, it never looked like it certainly wasn't a messy run, but it was a bit messy. He just runs. There's no real skill. Arsenal just stand off, a little bit of a foot over. Crap tackle by Krusty the Clown. I mean, Sideshow Bob, and Pereira gets a shot away. How much has Pereira improved? God, David Luiz is such a crap defender. You've got to get at him. He's awful. Sir Alex thinking we'd scored. But now it's Pepe. Twansebi's done well there. Chambers, watch this one across the face. We get rid of it. Throwing. Arthur says, look at how Liverpool crossed the ball by Robertson, hard and low. It's exactly the same way that DJ crosses the ball, but Rashford does not make the movement. Well, we had clowns who support United saying that against Southampton, Dan James had a bad game. He had one of his best games I've seen him play. He put about 4 or 5 crosses into dangerous areas, but because Rashford's nowhere near it, it makes it look like a bad cross. But if you actually know anything about football, they're good crosses. There's just nobody making the runs. Oh, watch out. Saka, there's a pass into Pepe. Ah, what are you on? What are you on about? What are you on about there? What is he hitting that for? He's got time to take a touch and he hits it first time. Good run by Saka. Well, first of all, Aubameyang gets tackled. Then Saka does really well to feed it out to him. He doesn't need to shoot first time. It's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. But there we go. We got away with that. Pepe, the flop. I daren't tweet anything about it because it's a long game. And he's now got the ball back again. And Arsenal, just at the moment, Arsenal sort of having a little bit of the ball. Well, that is amazing by Xhaka. He's just left Ashley Young on the floor. And it's a throw. It's a corner. Or is he offside? He was offside. Yeah, offside. I was a bit worried there. I thought it might have been going VAR for hitting McTominay on the arm. It didn't hit his chest anyway. Crap kick by De Gea. Lovely takedown by Pepe. I mean, this is the thing about Pepe. I know he's missing chances and people are calling him a flop, but I know I would have liked him to come to United, and I do worry at some point he's going to, hopefully not in this game, but I do think he will become a good player. They've got to get at David Luiz though. But Arsenal now seem to be just sort of they've had their half an hour where they silent the crowd, and now they're like, oh, Pepe, McTominay. Oh, there might be 2 yellow cards here. I think McTominay's lucky not to get a yellow card. I think that Pereira's getting a yellow card, but McTominay probably should have got the yellow card. Like Dujan says, is it 2 yellows? I think Pereira gets McTominay out of jail here because McTominay gets sent back to bloody Scotland by Pepe. And he's going to have a word with McTominay. And probably says, I can't book you both, but you would have been booked. So McTominay gets away with it. And from United's point of view, that's probably the better thing. Pereira's tackle was quite nasty as well. But the one on Pepe, he's absolutely destroyed McTominay there. I'm just going to stay quiet. It's the passion though to make those sort of tackles. You've got to love it. Well, David Luiz is probably going to hit this from 40 yards, which is a bit. He is a clown. I mean, I know it's wet and skiddy, but what's he doing here? Main thing is that United have just got to follow this up. Okay, now I don't know what Arsenal were doing that with that free kick. It was crap, absolutely crap. It's not been good from United, has it? I'm trying to find a positive for you people. It's not been good from United so far. It really hasn't. For the home team, this is poor. Not big. I don't see where it's 2 attacking teams from Ollie, and this was my fear. I think we're just trying to hit on the break all the time as the home team. We just want to hit on the break, and I think that's really bad. Like we're the home team. I think we're in for this all season under Ollie, though. I mean, the thing is, they want to give him more game. They want to give him more transfer windows. They want to give him time, but he's not playing the youth, and he's not even playing the way I think he should be playing football-wise either. So it's very difficult to try and... The positive is Twansibi, Lewis Jackson. I was clinging for a positive there, and he is the positive, but I don't understand what it is. It's very hard to give somebody... It's very hard to get behind something when there's nothing to get behind, if that makes sense. When the football's crap, like it's really crap. I mean, here we are now, Pogba passing backwards. You're wasting seconds. We're trying to win a game of football. I mean, that's decent by Lingard. It's not a foul. It's not a foul, Rashford. It didn't even look a bloody foul. And it's a nice ball into Aubameyang in the box, and Maguire's let him go. You want to be careful here. Back post. Pepe gets a shot away. Straight into keeper's hands. With these yellows, Ollie can sub Fred and Mason on, says Jordan Martinez. Rashford stayed down there. James is also a positive, says Michael Jones. Who's Jose bringing on in the second half? Ollie's at the wheel of Jose's bus, says Alligator. It's just... I mean... I'm stretching around here trying to have a quick look at something. So... let's just get the stats of this game for you. So we've had one shot on target in one shot in general. One shot on target. We're winning on fouls though. We've had 8 shots to their 4. Pereira's is the only shot we've had actually. Yeah, that's. I was trying to think which it was. But United have got into the final third here. Pereira can whip a cross in. It is a good cross, but again, I don't know where Rashford is. Pogba shoots from distance. McTominay. And I thought Pepe fouled McTominay there. They've both gone down. They've both gone down injured, but I think Pepe fouls McTominay. This match is not about who's best, but who's the worst, says Joskin Alexander. Yeah, it was Pepe and McTominay. I think the ref gave it the other way. It wasn't much in it. It's just knee to knee. And they're both clasping ankles that haven't been hit. Dane Summers says, I'm sick of people saying give Ollie time while he's not given a reason to do so. And Xstol86, you can't just pass it forward. Nobody's ready for it, Mark. It's just giving the ball away. Yeah, but we never pass forward. That's the problem. You watch teams like Chelsea and Arsenal and Spurs and Liverpool and Man City and even teams like Leicester and Bournemouth. They try and pass forward. We're playing the youth, Axel, Marcus and Scott, says RB. All of which had their debuts under Mourinho and Van Gaal. Okay. I think Ollie be happy with a point. But for everyone who's moaning about the performance, I think Ollie be happy with a point, by the way. Maguire, Maguire wins all these balls, but he's offside again. How are you bloody... That's twice. I'm not giving him the fingers. That's bloody twice from Maguire now. From a free kick, you're offside. Come on, mate. You're winning the headers, so at least stay on side. You've got to stay on side. The game has been very stop-start, I agree. Marco Hernandez. Lingard gives it away. That Xhaka looks good. Young knows he's in a game, that's for sure. Well done, Maguire. And referee is telling off Xhaka at the moment. Young is pulling his shirt, to be fair. But that's the experience for you coming through. James Trainer says, you say you're not Ollie out, but I don't believe you. Oh, I'm not. Why? If I was Ollie out, I'd just tell you. I don't need to lie about it. There's no need. I've just seen our Twitter accounts just put out Arsenal versus Manchester United in the late 90s and early noughties was a clash of the Titans. Tonight it's like watching Skegness Rovers versus the Red Lion Pub over 60s. It's pretty honest, isn't it? It's pretty honest. And that's not to say we're not going to win, but I think we all know the Leicester game was crap and we won. I mean, it's what you want from your team, isn't it? I think we're now so desperate for Ollie to win that we're almost saying, you know, the most exciting player on the pitch is Arsenal's left winger. How old is Saka, by the way? How old is that Saka for Arsenal? Because he looks fantastic. But we're now in a situation where we're so desperate for Ollie to succeed that we're happy just to watch this shit football. And it's crap. I mean, it's nearly half time. All this excitement, it's nearly half time, and it's been terrible. Well won there by McTominay. Now, Dan James, go for the penalty box. That's it. Oh, he's come back. He should have driven for the penalty box there. Oh, Ashley Young, you're in the book for that. You bloody prat. What a prat. I mean, you know, Ashley Young is up against Saka, their best attacking player, and Ashley Young goes in on Guendouzi and gets a yellow card. What a prat. I mean, and it's a blatant yellow card as well. I just don't know what he's doing. He didn't need to do it. Miles away. What a prat. I tell you what, if I was a bird, I'd shit on your head every day, mate. Stupid. You deserve it. And when I mean actually a proper bird, not like the slang for a woman. I'm not in for anything like that. I don't want to be a woman, and I don't want to crap on Ashley Young's head. I mean, if I was a bird, a real bird with wings. So Ashley Young's on a yellow card now. Chambers is on a yellow card for Arsenal, but we haven't got the ball we're not getting the ball forward to even exploit that. Arsenal are. Oh, that's very good play by Guendouzi. And Pogba's bounced him. I thought that was a foul, and we're in here. Rashford. Oh my God. What has he done there? What is Rashford doing there? Pogba puts him through. He's basically got the pace to get through one-on-one. That finish from Marcus Rashford, I tell you what, I could eat a football and shit out a finish better than that. It is absolutely atrocious. He basically falls over his feet because he can't shoot with his left. Rubbish. Rubbish. One big positive tonight, says upbeat sarcastic. While Sideshow Bob is busy gimping it off at centre-back for Arsenal, poor little Bart Simpson is safe. This is so disappointing. I think while here we go. Pogba, good run. He ain't going to get you there, Xhaka. Into Lingard. You got space. Have a shot. Pereira. Come on. Oh, too slow again. Taking an extra touch. In the box. Bloody hot potato football. Come on, get the bloody cross in. It's not a potato. Just throw it. Cross for United here. That was a great chance. Again, Pogba twice in the last couple of minutes has driven for... I mean, why is Pogba not playing in the Lingard position? Pogba's twice in the last 2 minutes got us away on the attack, and we're playing him as a CDM. I think that's one of the most criminal things we do at the moment. The waste of Paul Pogba, it's criminal. Pereira whips it in. Oh, I thought it was going to be a slab head. It's not, it's Pepe. And it's now Arsenal on the attack. Oh, shit. Who's this? It's Xhaka. Saved by De Gea. No. Oh, what a save. What a double save by De Gea. Guendouzi's kicking the side. Saka gets the shot off. De Gea makes a save, but it palms it out wide, and Guendouzi's there, and you're thinking it's going to be a goal, and De Gea makes the save down at the post. Oh, my life. De Gea keeps us in it just at half-time. Good shot by Xhaka, but that is brilliant from De Gea to get up and make the save. And it's Twansebi as well, sliding in to try and block it. United keeping their clean sheet there with good defending. You've got to say that whatever we're doing is an attacking force with defending very well. Anyway, corner for Arsenal. Cross comes in, and it's Pogba who wins it. Well done. And there's a break on here. There's a break for United. It's Pereira. He's got to give it to Dan James now. Look in the middle. He's got to give a yellow card. Oh, he's got to send somebody off for that, ref. Lingard's pulled down. You've got to send him off. Yes! McTominay! 1-0 to Manchester United. He smashes it in. I tell you what, there should have been a bloody red card for the foul on Lingard anyway. He pulled him down, and there's your mayonnaise all over your face, Arsenal. You cheating shits. They pulled Lingard down in the middle. It should have been a bloody red card. It should have been a red card, but it's McTominay. Watch this back now. Pereira, watch what happens to Lingard. He would have been in a goal-scoring position. That should have been a bloody red card. Disgraceful refereeing. Overcuts the pass, but it comes back to McTominay, who gets it out of his feet. Bang! Have some of that. 1-0. Justice half-served. But there should have been a bloody red card there. What happened to Lingard off the ball? That's where VAR is a bloody disgrace. Because they should be down to 10 men. That was a goal-scoring opportunity. He pulls Lingard down. Yes, we've gone on and scored, but they've still got 11 men on the pitch. But what a finish by Scott McTominay. There's no deflection. It arrows into the top corner. Call him Robin Hood. 1-0. Whew. But I'm not happy about that because they've still got a good chance to get back into this game. That should have been a red card. Lingard, he hasn't got the ball, but all Pereira's going to do is roll it into him in a one-on-one, and he pulled him down, and there should at least be a yellow card off the ball. I think there should be a bloody red. I bet he didn't even book him. Shocking refereeing. But Manchester United, take a breath. Manchester United are 1-0 up. And it's a cracking goal. And I predicted that in the summer about McTominay. I still think he's very inconsistent, but there's clearly a player there. He's playing every game in the big games, and he's turned up there with a goal. And he will be going in 1-0 up at half-time here. I'm not going to say what a half at all. It's been a shocking half, but United doing what United do. And Arsenal will be furious. They'll be absolutely furious. It's been absolutely shit from United. But in the last few minutes, we started to hurt them on the break a little bit. And it's a goal for Manchester United. Arsenal agreed to the goal, but said no to dance, says Udit Bagnaga. I just hope Arsenal don't get back into this in the second half because it's a cracking goal. But what happened off the ball? Disgusting. And he didn't even get booked. He didn't even book him. Half-time. Manchester United lead 1-0. Well, all the excitement came in the last few minutes because I tell you what, that was absolutely shit from United. And let's not bloody... What the hell is VAR for, says Sir Bren. Yeah, exactly. But United lead 1-0 at half-time. McTominay's happy with himself. He should be happy with himself. Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think you should be, mate. I think that performance is shit. I think it's absolutely shit. And I think fair play to McTominay. And the last 5 minutes, we actually tried to attack. But that was a poor half from United. Topped off with some brilliance from Scott McTominay. But I think Arsenal get out of jail. They do. I can't believe. Did he get booked for that? Whoever did it on Lingard. Disgraceful. I know I've said it a million times. But it was a McMayonnaise screamer, Reynolds 81. Two absolutely awful teams, says Arita Bakshi. Look, I said this. What did I say? Who's the idiot now? I said, I can't see United losing this game. All the United fans were going, well, not all the United fans, but a lot of United fans, oh, we're going to lose. Arsenal, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. And I'm like, I don't see it. I think United will get something out of tonight because we aren't committing men forward. We're park the bus, hit you on the break. And to be honest, you know how we've got ahead in that game? I think Arsenal got tired of parking the bus. Arsenal were playing defensive and trying to hit us on the break, and I think they got bored. I think they thought, oh, let's just go and beat them. And that's the trap. United, under Ollie, recently, like we did to Leicester, will bore you out. Will bore you out of your defensive system. And I think Arsenal, in that last 5 to 10 minutes of that half, they changed their plan. They went a little bit on the front foot. They had that double chance, didn't they? And United are like, right. I mean, it's from a corner, isn't it? Arsenal basically should have been 1-0 up. We get a corner, we hit them on the break. That is what we do. this is what we are. This is what we are. And it's very effective. It's very boring, but it's very effective. We did it to Leicester and we're doing it to Arsenal. We're not the better team. We're pretty boring, but defensively we're compact. I've been saying this for weeks. This is why Ollie's invested in the defence. He wants to keep clean sheets and grind wins out. It won't be pretty, but it might be effective. Twansibi has to play every game. He's been great, says Brandon Slaughter. If I was Lindelof, I'd be worried. I would be worried. I really would. But I think Twansibi was fantastic. I think the goal from McTominay was brilliant. DJ's the real threat. Arsenal didn't want the Jesse dance, says Udit Butnaga. Game is not over. Remember Wolves and Southampton, says Steve Lebo. No, it's not. It's far from over. But you would say, again, for everybody who said we were going to lose this game, to lose this game from this position, I don't see Arsenal scoring 2. I don't think Arsenal will score 2. Mark, Jose was doing the same. So how is Ollie better, says Divas Wallet. Mate, I haven't. Look, I haven't said that. What have I said? I've said that that's boring. It's a boring brand of football. And if people are happy with it, that's great. But at the end of the day, do you want to lose to Arsenal or do you want to get a result against Arsenal? I honestly think De Gea saves are looked past, says MC Benny. Yeah, there were 2 very good saves from De Gea right before that. McTominay, man of the match, 100%, says T17. Dekapertz. I disagree. I think the goal's brilliant, but Twansebi's been streets ahead. McTominay and Pogba playing way too deep. Way too deep. It was only because we caught them on the break that we actually get the shot going away. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. Arsenal fans are panicking now. They are. Rashford does look bad. We need the second and avoid further cards, says Shiham Sundar Singh. I'm just so disappointed by that referee. I just want to go back to that goal and talk you through it. I mean, I'm sure we'll see it on the telly in a minute. But basically, Arsenal nearly score. They have a corner. We hit them on the break and then he's not even booked him. That is disgraceful. I tell you why it's disgraceful, because Arsenal could have been down to 10 men. So we're breaking away with with Pereira. Lingard's blitzing through the middle, and all Dan James is going to do is just roll it past their last man for Lingard to run on through and be a one-on-one. The Arsenal defender just pulls him down in front of the referee, and he plays it on. And he clearly wasn't going to do anything about it. I mean, that's just absolutely disgraceful. For me, it should be a red. He should have stopped it and given a red. But, you take the goal every time. Superb dash from James there, says Pundit Bafshi. Look, we are an effective team on the break. The way we play reminds me of sort of like a Bournemouth or someone like that. It's certainly not the way a top 4 side should be playing. But it is effective if we defend well. It is effective. And it's very hard to score against United when they've got a good back 4 and 2 midfielders playing deep. People hated Van Gaal for doing this, by the way. I've got to give both sides. People hated Van Gaal playing 2 CDMs, and we had Smalling and Blind, and people used to say Smalling and Blind were brilliant. And then a lot of people would say, but any centre backs are good when they've got 2 midfielders sat in front of them. Most teams just play 1. We're a hard team to score against. Metal Music Reviews, McTominay strike reminded me of the Skull specials from years gone by. Wonderful. In isolation, it was a brilliant goal. Tim Z35, Rashford's never ready for the ball in the box. Andreas is not a winger. Jesse is a dancer more than a footballer. Axel is cold and classy. I think Lingard would have had his goal, but it's Pogba who wins the header. And just watch this now if you're watching it on the telly. Pereira into Dan James. Lingard would have been one-on-one on the back post and he gets tugged down. There's not even a yellow card. And I've got to see who number 34 is. Don't be Callum Chambers. It's not. It's Xhaka. Xhaka could have been off and should have had a yellow card. But it's been and gone and we got a good goal. SK says, Axel gives me hope. Aaron Wan-Bissaka would sit Saka on his arse. Never questioned De Gea. We need support for Pogba. Pogba wins the header from the corner. Rashi looks terrible, falling all over the ball. But what a hit from Scotty. If Lingard scores and we win 2-1, I win $100 off $1. I hope you do, Sean. Don Island, take off Lingard, bring on Fred, free up Pogba, bada bing, bada boom. Well, there was 2. Even before United scored, there was 2 opportunities. Both from Pogba driving forward. Simon Cliff, we could not attack on the break if Mata and Matic were playing. Twansibi will be an England international within 2 years. Reminds me of a young Rio. He does look so ready, doesn't he? He does look so ready. Really, really good performance from him. But, what do we expect from Arsenal in the second half? I think they're going to have to come at us a little bit more. And I think for United, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's like starting the game 1-0 up, isn't it? They're going to come at us. We can hit them on the break. So I think there will be more goals now. I think the game, if I mean, as a United fan, we're all absolutely ecstatic. But if you were a neutral, the best team scored because we're the most negative team on the pitch. So we're now winning. So they're going to have to come at us. We're going to have to force Arsenal out. Twansibi has pocketed Pepe, says Bo Boomer. And Lincoln Jack Dummy says, to his credit, Rashford kept the ball alive for the goal and set up McTominay on the edge of the box. He should stick to the wing for me. He's just not a centre forward. He's just not on his toes enough, nowhere near it. But United leading is big news, isn't it? I'm just about to put a tweet out that's going to absolutely wind a load of Arsenal fans up. Okay, so look, get in the live comments. What are your thoughts on that half? I'm very interested to see how you think the second half's going to go because a lot of people will definitely remember Southampton 1-0 up at half time, Wolves 1-0 at half time. But we were 1-0 up at half time against Leicester, weren't we? So at home, we're a little bit better. And I think United have got some crazy stats when they're 1-0 up at home. We haven't lost in years or something like that. Right. Tell you what, Manchester United fans. Let's just have a quick look at this. Get excited. You might not be able to see Manchester United on the top half of the Premier League table at the moment. At the moment, you can't see us. But if we win with 8 points, we'll go up to 11 points. With +3 goal difference, we'd be up to 6th. We'd be right in 6th. If Manchester United win 1-0, we'd be in 6th place because we'd have a +3 goal difference. Times are changing. Reap the whirlwind. Manchester United, we could be back. But no, there's a long way to go. There is a long way to go in this game. And let's just see how it goes in the second half. Still a long way to go. But it's exciting. The rain pouring down at Old Trafford reminds me of Helm's Deep, and we're the Uruk Hay at the moment, says Red Baron. Yes, it is reminiscent of that. I like the Lord of the Rings reference there, Red Baron. And woo, let go, watching on the way to work this morning, screaming in the car. Come on, boys, says Nicholas Hardy. I'm still disgusted with the referee, and I the reason I'm on about it, and a few people are saying, you know, you should talk about the McTominay goal more, which was brilliant, but the reason I'm on about the Xhaka thing on Lingard before, and I bet they never even mentioned it on the telly, is that he should have at least got a yellow card. For me, it's a red card tackle what he does. It's a professional foul off the ball. But he should have got a yellow card, and it's still a yellow card even if we score a goal. And I think Xhaka on a yellow card is always likely to become a red card. Twan Sebi is surprising me at left back. Rashford needs to come off to rest and let loose Greenwood, says Spartan N. Jones. And Mecha Music Reviews, not entirely convinced of the performance at the moment, but something about Arsenal at Old Trafford, just can't do it recently and hope it continues. Exactly. And Strutson says that the position of Pogba is probably because of the man marking we experienced last season. Now he has more time on the ball. Yeah, I also think it's because we're playing two centre defensive midfielders, to be honest with you. And I have exams tomorrow and it's 1:30 a.m. here. Come on, United, says Naf. Well, I hope the lack of sleep is rewarded by 3 points for Manchester United, because we certainly bloody need it. Look, you know what? I'm not one of those fans. You can't be a flip-flop. You can't be going on about how bad Ollie's selections are, how bad his tactics are, how bad that half was, and just because we score a banger from McTominay, say everything's great and Ollie's at the wheel again. I think that's what flip-flopping is. So all those fans who are, yeah, Ollie's at the wheel tonight if we win 1-0, you're wrong. You know, there's still massive problems with the way we're playing football. There's massive problems with what Ollie's doing. But it is about getting 3 points. We need 3 points. Do you want this season to be over in September? which I think it would be if we lost tonight. We've got to give ourselves a chance of being in top four, whether it's a reality or not. Surely every United fan wants us to win tonight, and that's what I would say. But yeah, I'm not going to lie to you and say that the football we play is turgid. It's slow, it's lethargic, until we get an opportunity to hit on the break. But when we've got the ball, we don't want to commit men forward. We don't want to move the ball forward. We really only see the best of United when teams attack us. It is such, and to be doing it at Old Trafford, it's a little bit embarrassing. But the reality is, we are winning, and sometimes the ends justifies the means. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we have got fan cams coming up for you after the game. We are live every night at 8 o'clock as well, and we have got Robbie, DT, Troops, and a few other Arsenal guys coming on to do fan cams with us. That's already been agreed, so hopefully it can be. I mean, I'd love it. I'm not gonna think about it yet, but I would really like to beat them, of course. Savage Black, Mark, I think Rashford will be run into the ground with injuries. Man plays every game injured. Yeah, I don't think Rashford should have played tonight for that reason. Mark, a question to you. Do you think Ollie plays 2 CDMs because our midfield is not good enough, hence why we play counter-attacking football? What do you think? Cantona, the greatest number 7? Yeah, you're probably right. Goes back to not doing business in the summer, doesn't it? But lovely hit by McTominay anyway. Lovely hit by McTominay, and that sets it up very, very well for the second half. So what are your predictions in the second half? Get in there and give us your thoughts on that. I think Zach has slaughtered Young, to be honest. They just haven't got the ball to him enough. Very, very interesting. Very interesting half. And I think it's going to be a very interesting second half, because Arsenal can't afford to leave it like that. They've got to do more in the second half. So will they bring... I mean, this I can imagine Arsenal fans now, quite rightly or quite wrongly, they will be saying, why have we not gone more attacking? Why have we not gone more attacking? Why have we played with 3 CDMs, Will he make that change now? Lingy is Mingy, Rashi is Trashy, and Scotty is Hotty, says Jimmy Ladd. Greenwood on next for a more interesting second half. And I hope Young gets subbed, says Grizzly2185. We've got to be careful about that. Got to be careful. All I'm going to say is, Pereira's on a yellow card. Ashley Young's on a yellow card. Their Chambers is on a yellow card. We could see a red, and then it will change the whole complexion of the game. I think Man United are going to win 2-1, says Abbas Akini Khan. Greenwood on in the 85th minute, says Pratapan. Pogba has lost the ball more times than any other player in the United team, next to McSauce, says 17 Dragons. Here come the players. 2-0 win to United, says Red92. It's just so important we get this win tonight, isn't it? Rashford's on a yellow as well, of course. Yes, he is. Thanks for that, Tom. So we're ready to go in the second half. Remember on my match reaction straight after the game, we've got fan cams as well. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But we're ready to kick off the second half. Referee says wait. I can't believe you didn't book Xhaka, you clown. But we did get a goal. That was the main thing. What worries me is if McTominay hadn't scored that banger, I don't think he was going to go back and book Xhaka, because, well, he didn't book him anyway. And we're off for the second half. What next? If, and it's a big if, we win this, says Shiham Sounder Singh. Hey, if we win the game, it is something to build on. It's such a small step. And what I would say, it's way too early to say this, but if we were to win this game today, then I would say, well, it's very easy to go and raise yourself for a game against Arsenal at home, isn't it? You've then got to go and beat Newcastle away. And then it's the big test. You've got to get something against Liverpool. You can't just throw in the white flag. So very interesting to see. But you know what? It's a game of two halves. It's a game of two halves, and we'd have to see. From Arsenal's point of view, if I was Arsenal, I would have made a sub in the midfield. I think Torreira, Guendouzi and Xhaka is a little bit too defensive, especially when you're 1-0 down. I think Arsenal fans had built this up. A lot of them had built this up. I mean, there were some realistic Arsenal fans who were like, yeah, we probably are favourites, but we don't win at Old Trafford. So... But if they came, I think there's Arsenal fans who'd be disappointed with the draw. Scars Chosen Pokesman, thanks for the contribution. Remember, United, we are playing on Thursday as well. We're playing on Thursday in Holland. So it's there's loads and loads of football for United at the moment. But, you know, Premier League's your bread and butter. Ashley Young tackles Xhaka. And Arsenal have won a throw-in. Well, it's squeaky bum time now. What do people think about Pogba's performance, actually? I just think in the last 5 minutes of the half, he got forward a bit and looked brilliant. And then in the first 40, I just don't think he's a CDM. I think he's wasted there. I don't think he's had a bad half. I just think he's really struggling with where we're playing him. In fact, I must keep that back for my match reaction, because regardless of the result, I just think we are wasting Paul Pogba. I really do. When ahead at half-time, United have not lost in 79 games. They've won 71 and drawn 8. 79, 71, 8. That is absolutely stunning. Akil Kamal says, not going to happen, but despite his age, would you take Jamie Vardy in January? I'll tell you what, Vardy's in my FIFA 20 team. United are on the attack here. Dan James, Rashford, too weak. But we've won it back with Pereira. Arsenal are here for the taking. United have just got to keep hold of the ball and stay confident. Dan James. Arsenal are here for the taking. I hate it, but the Scousers are walking with the title, says Punit Bavshar. I don't know. The title's irrelevant to a Manchester United fans. Alvin Block says this defence is Fortnite, too weak. And this game could end up in a draw, but to lose it from this position would be criminal. I can't see it. I'm only going to stick by what I've been saying. If you've been watching the United Stand previews, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. Everyone's been like, oh, we'll lose to Arsenal. And I said, no, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think United will be up for it enough. I'm not saying we're going to win. Even from this position, I'm not going to say we're going to win. But from this position, we shouldn't be bloody losing it. Anyway, Arsenal not making any real changes so far on the attack. And that will be a corner to United. Elijah 66 is right. We need to use the wings a little bit more. We need to get their defence a bit more. I mean, I think attack is the best form of defence like this. You know, I remember United playing Arsenal under Mourinho in November a couple of years ago, and he put Rashford at left back and they whipped across him and Giroud scored right at the end. And we'd done enough to win the game and we just sat back and defended. And I thought, you know, actually, we had Arsenal on the ropes. We should have kept going forward. We're at Old Trafford. Cross comes in. We're going to win that header. Comes to Xhaka. It's a decent ball, that. To Aubameyang. Cross comes in. Keeper's got that. I don't think United need to be worried about crosses. Rashi is not a striker. He never anticipates anything, says Biggie Third. The way this game's set up, it's set up for United to catch them on the break, score a second goal, and Arsenal's head will drop. Xhaka up against Pogba. Into Pepe. Into Guendouzi. Good little bit of play there. Ashley Young sort of sold himself a little bit. Torreira. Good tackle by Pogba. Now, this is where you got to break. Rashford. I don't think Rashford can be injured. He's probably just a little bit rusty because he's really having to stretch his legs a lot. I'll tell you what, Arsenal will be shitting themselves, won't they? They'll be absolutely shitting themselves about losing this. Can you imagine DT's arse like now? Be twitching like a rabbit's nose. Am I going to take another big L? To be fair, mate, if you are watching this, like, you know, we all want to win and we all want to give a bit of banter if our team wins, but it's totally out of our hands as football fans, isn't it? It's totally out of our hands. I always think it's like funny when people say, oh, you took the L. Well, you take the L as a fan base. It's what it's like when you support your club, but you've got no control in what happens. And Arsenal nearly in there. De Gea quick off a line. I don't know what the control. I tell you what, if Torreira makes a connection here, a cross comes in from Aubameyang. It can only be Victor Lindelof. It is Lindelof again. Oh, Victor, that's shocking defending. If Torreira connects with that, it should be 1-0. Awful defending by Lindelof. I tell you, Lindelof's got to be very careful because Tuanzebe, whether he's playing left back or centre back, he looks, and this is what I mean, I think he looks ready. Like, he looks ready. And Lindelof is very good. We've just given Lindelof a new contract. It'd be stupid to go and drop him. But, I mean, Tuanzebe could just play his way into the team. But that was a big chance for Arsenal. The only reason it wasn't a chance is because he didn't connect with it well. But Lindelof, you can't give any strike. I mean, it's just poor defending, really. We've got away with it. The next goal is key, and I think United can get it. Well done, Dan James. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That'll get the crowd up. And he's running at the goal as well. Rode 2 tackles in the centre circle. Drove forward. Got the ball forward. I mean, why is Rashford stood here? Why is Marcus Rashford stood there? I mean, he's won a corner. You're the frigging centre forward, mate. You're the centre forward and you come into the edge of the box to put a cross in. You know that number 10 on the back of your shirt? It's there for a reason. It means you're the centre forward. Get in the bloody box. Well, United have just done a quick corner here. VAR. There could be a penalty here. A lot of people shouting for it for United. What? Well, there was 4 United players there saying handball. And I don't think we're getting one of them VAR bits now where they go back and say you might want to have a look at it again. I tell you what, if this ends up being a handball, he's not going back to it. Well, we haven't seen it on the cameras yet. There was a lot of United players going, that should be a handball, so intelligent play by Xhaka there. Oh. Let's watch this back. Oh, come on. That's bloody blatant. That's a blatant red card. Blatant handball. Oh, for God's sake. That is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. What is the point in VAR? What is the point in VAR? That is a disgrace. What is the point in VAR if they're not going to give it? That is disgusting. That's just... I don't like VAR. I do not like VAR. You can shove it up your arse, but that's the whole point of VAR, is that if the ref misses something, you've got to review it, and it's not even, it's clear and obvious. He moves his hand towards it and misjudges the bloody ball. It's shocking. I mean, look, I know Arsenal fans are going to laugh and non-United fans are going to laugh, but just for a moment, think that that's your club, right? We might have missed the penalty anyway. Pogba takes it and misses. Pretend that. But the point is that not the point of VAR? Like, it's gone. It's gone. Arsenal are on the attack now. De Gea's got it. Was it a handball though, says Being Rocky? Well, let me give you a clue, Rocky. Handball starts at the shoulder and goes all the way down here and it hits his arm. So, yeah. It is. It's 100% a penalty. But United are on the attack here. And, I tell you what, Rashford was looking like he was going to get a goal. Guendouzi clears it from a corner. Prolific says it's never a penalty. You can't just say it's never a penalty or even it was a penalty. If you don't think it was a penalty, then tell us why it's not a penalty. It's ball to hand in the penalty box. There's plenty of time for the ball to carry. And his arm goes into the ball. It's a handball. Like, it's not whacked into him. It actually goes a good distance before hitting his ball. It was definitely a penalty. Unless anybody wants to write a reason why it's not, I'll read it out, but I can't see anything as to why it wouldn't be. Anyway, let's go and win it in prop. Let's win it fair. Let's win it the other way then. Cross comes in. Pereira. Oh, God. That's not even 3 points at rugby. Well over the bar. Tom Daly says it's not because it hit the top of his arm and his hand and his weight was by his side. Wow. I'll tell you why I don't think it was, Tom. I don't think it was a penalty because the Premier League have decided that with VAR they don't want to undermine their referees. So, and they've already admitted that. I think in the World Cup that would have been a penalty. Because they would get them back looking at it and say, you might want to review this. But we don't want to do it because we don't want to slow our games down. So we miss out on decisions. Deepak Sahar Kaman says he attempted to remove the hand. There's a mistake here. It's Aubameyang. It's one bloody offside. He's offside. Yes. Sit down, Arsenal. You thought you'd done it. They're all bloody celebrating. Get your bloody sellotape on your seat, the AFT boys, because you've got to sit down. Glue in your pants. It's Twan Sebi with the mistake. Lindelof doesn't read it. He's onside. Oh, for God's sake, I'm going to get done by VAR. He's miles on. He's absolutely miles on. They're going to VAR this. They're going to VAR it. He's bloody miles on. He's bloody miles on, isn't he? For fuck's sake, now I'm going to look a right prat. VAR's done me again like it did on FIFA 19. It's a goal. It's a bloody goal. Bloody hell, I knew it. I bloody knew it. What a twat. Bloody hate VAR. I bloody hate VAR. You make me mug Arsenal off going, sit down, you haven't scored. And it's a bloody goal. So not only, you couldn't even bloody write it. You couldn't write it. You could not write it. Absolute joke. We don't get a penalty because they don't use VAR, and then they get a bloody goal through VAR. You couldn't believe it. You can't bloody believe it. And Twan Sebi is the one who makes the mistake. But it's bigger than that, folks. It's bigger than that. I mean, Minnie Warner says it's not a penalty due to the rule that handball on a defender does not give a penalty. It only matters when it's the attacker's handball. Oh, you know what? Zane's made a contribution as well. But Paul Ross goes right. So VAR only matters when when they decide it. What a bloody joke. What a joke. VAR, shove it up your arse. It's a joke. Don't use it for us, but use it for them. Absolute joke. Oh my God. Arsenal should be 2-1 up. Cut back cross from Chambers, and Zach has just put it over the bar from 6 yards. And this is looking worrying for United now. Forget the VAR decisions. Let's be honest. This is looking really worrying for United now. And a moments of brilliance from McTominay is not shrouding the fact that Arsenal have gone up a gear in this second half, and they should be 2-1 up. I mean, look, to be honest with you, I'm just going to be honest here and say that the Arsenal goal is a goal. You can't argue with it. It's miles onside. But it's just the feeling of injustice because I think it should have been a penalty for United. But Arsenal all over United now. And that's a goal kick. 1-1. It's that feeling of injustice. Look, you can talk about natural hand movements. I think most men know everything about natural hand movements. We've got plenty of experience. But what I was going to say is that for me, when I saw that back, it's not red tinted glasses. It's a bloody penalty. And if it was the other way round, Arsenal fans would say it was a penalty on review. Every club who's had that happen to them, the ball travels a distance and Kolasinac or Socrates, one of the two, their hand is like that and they move like that and it hits them there. He's got plenty of time to move his arm out of the way. He can turn his body the other way. He doesn't. Why are we messing about at the back from a throw-in, says Ryan FTW. Well, it's game on now. Now show the relevant bit. VAR, says Jack Bowen. Oh well, I've just been mugged off by VAR. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Absolutely mugged off. Thanks. Great. That's a meme. Brilliant. Superb. I'm so happy with that. Arsenal score a goal, linesman puts his bloody flag up, so you give him a load of banter saying, sit down, Arsenal fans, and VAR goes, no, I'm going to lube you up, Goldbridge. You're getting it big time. A big one. And I have. I've took it big time with that. VAR. Bloody VAR. Look at the Arsenal fans now as well. Celebrating a draw. Anyway, let's get back to the game. United just need to go up a gear here. And to be honest, I've got to be totally honest. Arsenal are the more exciting team, aren't they? Linesman raises flag, players stop, he scores, says Udit Butnaga. Yeah, they weren't catching him, Udit. I ain't going to start lying about that. Aubameyang is kept onside by Maguire, who's 50 metres down on the other side of the pitch, and nobody is catching him. And it's the sad thing is it's a mistake by Twansebi, who's been the best player on the pitch. But that just shows you in football, people, that anybody can make a mistake. Good ball by Pogba into Lingard. Someone needs to get a shot here. Dan James. Free kick. Hakil Hall says, I'm a Liverpool fan and I hate United to death, but that was a clear penalty from Klasnic. What's the point of VAR in this league? Thanks for the contribution, Zane, as well. Look, a lot of people feel it was a penalty. Lindelof plays on. Young doesn't. Young plays to the flag. I don't know whether Ashley Young could have got across to him or not. And I think that's what Ollie's saying. He's blown the whistle. And that might be an interesting thing. Did the referee blow the whistle before Aubameyang? And the linesman's fucked up anyway, hasn't he? I mean, look, there's a lot to be learned from that, because the linesman's not meant to put his flag up until the ball's in the back of the net, and he seemed to put it up very quick. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, regardless of all that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to make some bloody changes. Now. Like, now. This is not good enough. Pereira. Pogba. Oh, I thought he'd found the bottom corner. Keeper was diving just wide, edge of the box, a little bit of a curler. But this is another thing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Make some bloody changes, mate. Make some bloody changes. Anyway, keeper's got that covered. Can I ask everybody an honest question here? Should Jesse Lingard still be on the pitch? A lot of people are talking about Rashford. Has Lingard done enough in this game for you? Pereira is far the worst to ever play for United, says Dion Doherty. And Minamona, defenders are protected in case players deliberately kick it at their arms. One rule for one and another for another. Handball is terrible with VAR. Can't blame Young. He saw the assistant ref's flag, says Biggie. I know, I wasn't blaming Young. I'm just saying he's you know, the linesman's flag isn't meant to go up that quick. And whether Young could have done something about it or not, I think that, you know, I don't want Arsenal to win, and I know Arsenal fans are going to banter us, but in the context of VAR, I think the flag goes up too soon. It's not meant to go up that quick, because you're meant to let the phase of play go and then judge it. The flag goes up quick. There's talk that the whistle might have gone, and I think this is the same ref that stopped the Grealish goal as well. So has he blown his whistle again? And also, if Young's seen the flag gone up and stopped, because he's certainly got his arm up, then I don't know. Jesse shouldn't be in the club. Never mind this game, says Ryan FTW. Hasty Gaming says, I didn't even realise Lingard was playing. Milosh says Lingard shouldn't be in the city. Balu says he's been invisible. Good cover there from Twansebi. I feel that the way the game's going at the moment, and Lee Corbett says it's all ifs and buts, what I would say in total fairness at the moment is, the way the game is going at the moment, there's only going to be one winner, and it's going to be Arsenal. United might get a shot from Pogba on the edge of the box, but are we going to, can we win games on worldies? Like Arsenal have had 2 really good chances. They've scored one. Saka put one over the bar from 5 yards out. Torreira didn't connect from 5 yards out. I mean, they're big chances. United, we're relying on penalties and worldies from the edge of the box. Like, when are we going to start creating chances? Dazu W, Axel has been good, but this Ollie's tactics fault, having Oxel on left and having to turn to pass with his right. It's an interesting point, that is. Rashford, no. Lingard. I thought Lingard got the ball. He's going to get a yellow card. I thought Lingard got the ball there. That wasn't a foul, says Dujon. Well, let's watch it back. I don't think it's a foul either. I think he touches the ball. I certainly don't think Guendouzi gets injured as much as he does. But look, 20 minutes to go. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? I mean, that's the main thing, isn't it? How are you feeling with just over 20 minutes to go? Ollie looks wrecked. He looks old. He needs a shave. He doesn't look good at all, but it's not... Overall, have United played well in this game? No. Overall, have Arsenal been the better team? Yes. There's 20 minutes to go in this game. You can change that pattern. Are you going to change the pattern? Is anybody warming up? Like, Soccer Aid Gordon Ramsay at Old Trafford is better than this lot, says Sonny S. Like, the football's turgid again. Like, all we're doing is... It's just not good enough. Now, Dan James, got to get him on the ball more. Corner, good stuff. Well played, Dan James. I mean, this is we're so reliant on a championship winger. It's a disgrace, isn't it? But he is exciting. It's quality, says Michael Duffield. Don't think it was a corner. I think it went off his own foot, to be honest. So, pissed that Ollie's not making changes, says Shorty Leram. I mean, this is it. I don't know why he doesn't want to make changes. I don't know why he doesn't want to make changes. Like, it's not like Fred and Greenwood have been bad players. Oh, what a miss on the back post. McTominay, free header, back post. He scores a banger and he misses a sitter. And he knows it. He knows it. He's absolutely unmarked. On the 6-yard box. He can't miss. He does. He's put it over. If that was Rashford, you'd slaughter him. But because he scored a banger in the first half, you've just got to say what you're doing, Scott. It's an absolute sitter. An absolute sitter. And Ollie's probably there going, well, if I draw, at least I can say Scotty missed a shot and we deserve to win. But you can't criticise him because he scored such a good goal. Ollie, show some passion instead of sitting down, says Daniel Brindley. But United are in here. Rashford, look at the penalty spot. Oh, to be honest, I thought that cross was all right. Again, it's Pogba. Lovely ball into Rashford. I think he's trying to deliver a cross that's never going to happen. The deflection actually makes it a better cross than it was. Well, United have got chances here, but I could still see United getting a goal. I could still see United getting a goal. I think Arsenal, yeah, they get back to 1-1. I think they think they're gonna go and win it, but United could get a goal in this game. Here's McTominay, good little run. That should be a foul, and it is. Two-one either way, says Dylan Bell. I'll tell you what, I'll bloody love it. I'll love it if we can nick another goal now, because I do think we've been robbed a little bit. Jordan Such, Sheffield United were more of a goal threat against Liverpool. It is so sad at home against the team Watford should have a 10 against. That's definitely a foul on McTominay. It's sad that Young is our best corner taker, says Clinton Sam. I'm a red. I can't believe he's not made any changes on the 70th minute of this game. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Because, of course we can grind a result out, and I hope that we do, but, like, it's not that people have played well that you don't want to take them off. It's not been. There's been a few performances out there that have been pretty bad, and you're not making changes. And we've had 72 minutes. I mean, Young, Maguire. Cuts it back, but nobody's there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We have hit 555,000 tonight, which is fantastic for the channel. Bottom right hand corner, you can do that. My mind is more on this game at the moment. 20 minutes to go. Will there be another goal? I would imagine any non-United and Arsenal fans are probably saying what a crap game. But United in the last few minutes are getting a lot more. A lot more. Rashford. Oh, corner. Arsenal seem to have lost their way. Now we're getting the double substitution we want. Bloody hell. Fred and Greenwood. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do this. Fred and Greenwood on. Pereira and Rashford off, I think. Young. And now Arsenal are going to get a break. Pereira. Good covering from Pereira there. Might be his last bit of action. Into Maguire. Oh, good shot, Maguire. Good save by Leno. Edge of the box from Maguire. Good run by Pereira. Feeds it into Harry Maguire on the edge of the box. And for a centre-back to hit that, good technique. Leno has to make the save. Corner. When will we see Harry Maguire score a goal for United? I don't think he's going to score many if we just keep lofting up these crappy Ashley Young corners. It's all about the second ball. Look at it. You're not going to get a lot of power on that. And Leno is going to get... He's been fouled by Maguire. So Greenwood's coming on. Fred's coming on. And Arsenal are going to bring Nelson on. Lingard off, yeah. About bloody time. Absolute shithouse performance again. And Pereira. So it's keeping Rashford on. I mean, look, I don't have a problem with him keeping Rashford on, but, you know, you've got to start resting Rashford, mate. You've got to start resting him. He plays every minute of every game. He gets injured. He gets himself back, and you play him for 90 minutes again. Pereira's just had a really good run, and he's fit. I think Nelson's on for Pepe, isn't he? Good tackle by Fred there, straight in. I think this gives and Greenwood's playing down the middle. This substitution now with Fred, are we going to let Pogba license forward a little bit more? Because if we are. Pogba's gone more advanced as well. This is how we should have started the game now. This is the team we should have started the game with. Rashford on the right, if he's fit. Greenwood down the middle. McTominay and Fred as the midfielders, and Pogba with more advanced. This is how we should be lining up. So can we go and win it with 15 minutes to go? Guendouzi fouled by Fred. Does Rashford have pictures of Ollie or something, says Donny, and he said, well, you know what? If Ollie wants to do it, Ollie wants to do it, doesn't he? But I think, you know, it won't be long before Rashford's injured again. You can't just keep playing him like this all the time. And you probably play him on Thursday as well. So many fouls in this game. Yeah, no, I haven't got a problem with Ollie there. I think his substitutions are absolutely bang on. Probably would have done them a little bit earlier, but maybe he's just waited for the last 20 to say, right, sod it, let's go and have a go. Let's try and win it. Yellow card for a foul on Greenwood. And it's Xhaka. Filthy. And he should have had a yellow card in the first half as well. He shouldn't be on the pitch. Shouldn't even be on the bloody pitch. Red Jedi said I had to leave. How are we doing now? I think United have been in this game as an attacking team more than they've been in it throughout the whole match, which is interesting because Arsenal get back into it and they seem to have sort of sat back a bit. Does Rashford have dodgy photos of Ollie's pack 376? I certainly think with about 15 minutes to go, Willock's coming on for Arsenal. This is United's as good as United have looked. Arsenal messing around with it in their own half there. Well done, Fred. Good play by Fred. Lindelof. Happy Man says, can United win? Of course they can win. Of course they can win. I think this is United's best 11 that's available at the moment. Obviously with Martial back and, you know, maybe Luke Shaw back. Lovely running here by Dan James. Oh, side netting corner. You see, United are the team pushing here at the moment. I think you've just got to keep pushing. Arsenal are playing for a draw, says John Allen. They are. They sort of... they got themselves back into the game. They had a good couple of chances. And then in the last few minutes, they've sort of been playing for a draw, haven't they? I'll love it if we get this in. If we can score. I don't like these corners, though. I don't like the way we loft it up. And it's a crap corner. And McTominay puts it out for a goal kick. No, he doesn't. He doesn't put it out for a goal kick. And Fred shoots well wide into the Stretford end. McTominay's really well there. I think McTominay's probably shaded it for me so far, man of the match. There's still more time. There's still more time. Of course there's still more time. But Saka's coming off for Arsenal. They're going to bring Willock on. So that, to me, looks like Arsenal playing for the draw. I told you. What did I tell you? Oh, Arsenal are going to come and do this, that and the other. They never come and do this, that and the other. They never come and do it. So why would we be worried about it? So are we going to get a winner late on, people? Are we going to get a winner late on? Well, it's Arsenal on the attack here at the moment. Chambers. Fred will get rid of that. Suck him in, Fred, and then catch him on break. See, this is again tactically. Twansibi is having to use his right foot too much, and that's what got us into trouble with the goal, as that previous commentator said. Free kick to United there. We'll take that. We'll take that. And Partey. Morgan Rennie says that Fred is an overrated prat. He's better than a lot of what we've got. The reason I'd like Fred to play is because I'd rather Fred played alongside McTominay and Pogba played more advanced. Because Lingard is a waste of time in that position. And we've got to find somebody to play in that central attacking position. Lingard can't do it. Mata can't do it. Pereira probably isn't going to get an opportunity to do it. So Pogba's got to be the player who does it. Another foul here. Paul, can you hear me? I thought he was there, though. Hello, Paul. Can you hear me? You're on mute, mate. Fred's coming forward here. Dan James. Paul, you all right, mate?
Yo, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, not too bad. Ooh, Pogba, cross. That's a foul on the keeper. Yeah, what's your thoughts, mate? What's your thoughts?
Not doing very well, are we really, Mark? To be honest, I mean, in terms of our football's, it's not penetrating, is it? It's much of the same. I mean, we've got the 1-1. It's a shame Twanzebe gave away that chance because he's had such a good game. But overall, yeah, we look the same.
We do. I think that, I don't want to lose to Arsenal, so obviously I just take what we can get out of this game now. But the reality is, we're at home, and Arsenal have had the better chances. I mean, they had that one straight after their goal. Saka should have scored it. They had another one where Torreira didn't connect with it because Lindelof let him go. I think we've been in the game, and I don't think anyone can argue that if we went on and won it, or even if we get a draw. But the quality of the football is not been quick enough or good enough in the final third yet again. And I think this team he's finished with is our better team, but he didn't start with it.
Yeah, it's two poor teams playing with poor midfields, so no one's really got hold of the game in terms of possession. So yeah, it's been back and forth.
What I mean, look, I'll put it to the comments as well. If this does end a draw, I'd said before that actually I don't think I'd be massively positive about a draw, to be honest with you. But in the context of it, I'm actually already feeling like, actually a draw, as long as we don't lose to Arsenal, that's something. But I suppose that just shows how, again, probably shouldn't accept the draw because the expectations have been lowered. Look, I think if we went on to lose this game, there'd be a lot of trouble. But I think Arsenal have been shit as well, playing with three midfielders. I think Arsenal have not been very good, and that's why I never felt Arsenal would beat us. I think we might have lost him. No, he might come back. But let's have a quick look at the live comments, see what people are saying. But yeah, no, I do stand by that. I think that they haven't been that good, Arsenal. And I saw them against Watford, and I don't think they were that good either. I think United had an opportunity to get more than a point here today. And as I say, from Arsenal's point of view, they'll be into fourth place if they win this. And to be fair, Arsenal have been to they've played Spurs. They've played Liverpool and United away, and they're in fourth place. So they might not be happy. We're not improving. This is very sad. Ollie's lost, says David Dean. And I think that's the important question, isn't it? Are we improving? Are we improving at United? Because I would say that the results, a draw can be a good and a bad thing. A draw can be many things. It can be, but I think in this situation you've got to look at the performance, and there's always bright sparks. I mean, Twanzebe cost us the goal, but he's been a bright spark. Arsenal have got a corner here. There's no questioning that he has been a bright spark, but I don't think that the performance as a whole has been. And I would still query why Fred didn't play from the start. I still think that's a very valid point. I also think that United, we don't move the ball transitionally from back to front anywhere near quick enough, and I think that's hurting us. But Arsenal get a corner here, little flick, cleared, another corner. But we've got to see this out. We've got to see this out. It would be a travesty if we didn't. Arsenal corner. They're hitting these low corners. Now is a chance for United to break. Ashley Young, look at the pace. Look at the pace. Where's the pace? That's the ball. That is the ball. And it's Dan James. And Arsenal have got so many men back. But if he goes himself, good defending. Good defending by Willock. And it will be a foul. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. $85 minutes gone. And look, you know what? Is there progress at Manchester United? Because I remember Arsenal coming to Old Trafford a year ago on December the 5th, 10 days before Jose Mourinho got the sack, and they were apparently going to beat us. Mourinho's crap, United are crap, and they still couldn't do it. It finished 2-2, and it was a fair 2-2. And I think today, if this finishes 1-1, it's going to be a fair 1-1. And again, it's the similar circumstances. Oh, Arsenal this, Arsenal that, and they still can't do it. Now Arsenal I've said this before. They get on the M1 and their spine disappears. So I don't really understand why people were like so confident that this was going to go against us tonight, because I don't think Arsenal are. I do think Arsenal are better than us. I'm not taking that away, but I don't think that they're that great. And even from 1-1, have they really gone to try and win the game? I don't think they have. I think United could have tried to win it a little bit more. Even though we've brought Greenwood and Fred on, do we look any better for it? Have we got Pogba on the ball? I mean, Young's made a big mistake here. I think McTominay's got the legs to cover him. Just don't mess it up now. Shot wide, that'll be fine. That's fine. But it'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what the fan cams are after the game. I mean, I don't think even Arsenal fans, we'll have them on, and I just think it's been a bit of a letdown. More so, I mean, another free kick. I don't think the referee's been good, has he? I think the game's been very, very stop-start, and that's took it away. But as a spectacle, very disappointing, and I think we've played our part in that. I think, you know what, the big thing for me with United is, go on, Dan, go on, get a shot off. Greenwood. Oh, I'll tell you what, it was an intelligent ball. We just don't create any chances in the opposition's penalty box, do we? That's what disappoints me. We're all right at getting shots away. Is Maguire? What's he doing forward? Go on. Oh, we don't create any chances in the penalty box. It's so frustrating. Come on, McTominay, move the ball quicker. He's shooting again from distance. Young. Oh, God. If ever you needed Ashley Young to put a cross in, it was then. Put a bloody cross in. Nah. We're getting excited and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Couple of minutes left to go. I think Arsenal have invited us on. McTominay. Let's get a free kick right on the edge of the box for United here. This is key. This is key. Imagine this. What an opportunity. No, it's right on the edge of the box. I thought there might be a penalty there. So it's McTominay. Again, I think McTominay's been man of the match today. I think he's really impressed me. I've always felt with McTominay, I'm not so sure because he's a little bit inconsistent, but he's been absolutely fantastic in this game. This is where you want not Marcus Rashford on this free kick. If he scores, yes, Marcus Rashford, but for me, not Marcus Rashford on this. I think there's an element of selfishness from here because I don't think Marcus Rashford should take this. It needs technique, not power. But then again, if he finds a power way through, it might be enough. Imagine this. Please, Marcus Rashford. I know he's going to hit it. I definitely know he's going to hit it. I want it to be Fred. What a chance. What a chance. United corner says disabled people watch out. I think Rashford's going to hit it, but it's got to be Fred. Oh, he got it through Rashford, to be fair. Oh, and then Greenwood's kicked it thin air. But we've still got a chance. Cross comes in. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible from Rashford, but I still think it should have been Fred because it needed to whip. It needed to whip it the other way. It wasn't a right footer's free kick. Rashford pulls rank on free kicks way too much. Still a couple of minutes to go. Oh, Arsenal on the attack now. I wasn't even looking. Crap shot. I think boring. Couple of minutes to go. Can United get something on the break here? Well, I say on the break. It's been poor. Fred. Greenwood shoots wide, goal kick. I mean, if you could describe this game in 3 words, what would you say? Because for me, it's just not good enough. I just don't think we're good enough as a team anymore. I think we're... I think Arsenal might look at it and go, well, you know, we had an opportunity there, but I actually think we had more of an opportunity in that game than them. I do. I think we've just let ourselves down a little bit today. I think tactically, again, it's questionable how we've approached the game. And I think if we don't score free kicks from free kicks, penalties, shots like that from McTominay, then I think that we struggle. It's a very... I think a draw is always a horrible performance anyway, isn't it? And I don't know whether there's a... I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to read some of the comments here and the weight of feeling, but it is a corner for Arsenal late on. It's a free kick actually to Arsenal. We can take a point, says Zhenjan. I'm not accepting this as a draw, says Stephen Pope. We're at average. It's Ed Woodward's fault, says Lucian Saldana. I just expected more. I just expected more from Manchester United in that game, if I'm totally honest with you. And I think if I was Arsenal, like I said in December against Mourinho, they've got to be disappointed about how they've approached this game, and maybe they think a point's a good point. Maybe they do, but from our point of view, we needed to win tonight, and I think that's going to be about it. He has blown up on it, so it finishes 1-1. I don't know. I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to pretend to be happy with it either. I think it's it's just. I mean, if I just have a very quick look at this, because we'll talk about it afterwards. But if you look at the league table now, we're in 10th. We're mid-table after 7 games with 10 points, and people will say, "Well, we're only 2 points off 4th," but I don't know. I'm not happy with that. I'm not. Average at best, says Matthew Booth. Well, I've got a few things I want to say anyway. I'll do that on the match reaction. We'll do the player ratings. Ollie's waving at the crowd and everything like that's good. I tell you what, mate. If you were waving at me, I'd go. I don't think that's good. You're at Old Trafford with Manchester United Football Club, and that was a shockingly bad performance from us again. But again, what they're trying to do is lower expectations at this football club. They're trying to lower your expectations so that you think that's good, and it's not good. It isn't good enough. It's absolutely abysmal. But we'll try and talk it into a positive. Anyway, I'm going to be live with my match reaction in 60 seconds. I'll see you on there. The link is in the video description. We've got fan cams coming in with the AFTV boys as well. Interesting to see what they've got to say. Ollie's on the pitch smiling and shaking hands. I'll speak to you on the match reaction. I don't want to get mad. I'll see you in a moment. Links in the video description. I'll see you in a minute.